Cha. What happened to my other part? It's supposed to be my Ed McMahon coming in there, but I guess he's off for the holiday weekend. Welcome to the show. It's Lee Michaels and four other guys. We call it Five Guys and You, where we talk about what's happening around the world and, excuse me, what's happening in the news and some of the stuff you probably like. And if you don't, you can always chime in. I want you to do one thing for me before we get started. I want you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, depending on which platform you're watching us on. We're all over the place, Twitter, Instagram, not Instagram, but Facebook, YouTube. But go ahead and hit the like and the share and subscribe, okay? Thank you very much. We're trying to grow the channel. If you do that, that helps us grow. And guess what? It's free to you. It doesn't cost you anything. So let me welcome the team in here one by one. Dr. Ron, welcome to the show. How are you tonight?
What up? Man, I'm here in living color.
Well, good. What you got going on? What you going to talk about tonight?
Well, it's the 1 year anniversary of George Floyd. I think that'd make a good topic.
Okay, let's wrap it up. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. For sure. All right, well, that's good. And now we're going to go to Chris Bass. What's up, my brother?
A hearty BoomShockalaka to you and everybody out there. My topic today, we'll talk about BBC journalist Martin Bashir, who the Michael Jackson family said stabbed them in the back when they did the 2003 documentary. So we're going to talk about that.
All right. Well, that should be a fiery topic. And let's go over to the Chocolate Yaddah. What's up, Francisco? How are you tonight?
In paradise. All good, man. How's everybody doing?
We're doing good. We're alive and kicking. Do you have a specific topic tonight, or are you just gonna?
Once I saw Ron's topic, I wanted to talk about the repugnant party, but Ron's topic is going to take my focus and attention.
Oh, okay. Well, you should chime in and put a slice of the cake on the table as well. I think we got room for it.
All right.
So don't be scared. Let's go see what the professor is talking about. What's happening, buddy?
Hello, and welcome to the land of funk and elegance. Yes, we're going to lay it on the line as we do it each and every week at the same time.
All right.
Through Funk Intelligence. But what's on my mind, though, we won't be on, it'll pass, but we're approaching the 100th anniversary of the destruction of, Greenville, Archer, and Pine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
100 years. And I think we hit on it, but I think... I just want to say something about it again.
Well, let's do that. Another major anniversary.
Yeah, Greenville, Archer, and Pine. The destruction of Black Wall Street. I seen an article saying that it all started in an elevator. It all started because of an elevator ride. And so I think that might be something that might, warm my juices. And
I have not heard that.
Yeah, hey, just so you know, we got an echo with the professor's audio.
Is that me? Oh, I got it. Okay, I took care of that. I should not be.
It sounds like somebody's cell phone.
I got it.
Yeah. I didn't want to bust you out, but
yeah.
Bust him over his goddamn head.
Yeah.
That might be painful.
See, it's my fault because I be trying to get the phone call in at the same time, but this time I couldn't get the phone call in. Okay. All right. So I turned the phone call off. Okay.
Okay, that's great. Stay in your lane, doctor. Don't do it outside shit.
Yeah.
Do the show, fuck the call, and just do the show.
Agent of chaos. See, Ron, you got Chris all riled up now.
There you go.
Early on.
It don't take much.
And I knew it I knew it couldn't have been me because I got the road.
Uh-oh.
That's right.
I know it couldn't have been me.
I got the baby.
I got the...
You don't hear it now, right? It went away.
It went away.
It's gone. It's gone.
Okay,
yeah.
That's exactly what it was. I got it. Yes.
Well, before we get too serious, let me just say, let me say a couple things. I've been going back and forth with Rode over that other mixer that I own that I spilt the coffee in.
Oh boy!
And they're like jackasses on the point of having me be able to send it back to see if it's repairable. And if it's not, then okay. I didn't ask you for a freebie. I know the warranty is void because my dumb ass spilled coffee in it. But are you telling me that you can't fix your own damn machine?
Mm-hmm.
You know what their advice was to me? Buy another one. I did. I got 2 now. And what's amazing is the first one still works. As soon as I spilled the coffee in it, I turned it off. Okay, I unplugged it and everything, and I tried to wipe off all the coffee that I could off of it, and I just set it aside. And immediately that day went out to Best Buy and bought another one. So about 3 or 4 days ago, I said, let me plug this damn thing. Because at that point, I'm getting really frustrated and pissed off at Rode because they don't want to give me any kind of service. I'm not asking for you to do it for free, but let me send it back to you down in Australia and, fix it. If you have to replace all the guts inside of it, tell me what the cost is going to be. And they don't want to do that. They don't want to sell me no parts. I said, well, listen, I'm a half-ass engineer myself. Let me go in here and find out what's messed up and sell me the parts. No, we can't do that. We don't do that. So Rode, I'm disappointed. But it still works. So I'm gonna keep using it until it blows up. If it blows up, I'll probably buy another product because I just customer service to me is so important.
I think
you know what I mean?
I think they got so hot, right? And when you get a product and you start selling, you get hot, and then it's like you forget where you come from, right?
That's right.
And that's where it always shows up at in the service. Kind of reminds me of this other company that came out and was hot. Everybody was buying this stuff, but you better hope it didn't break.
Yeah,
because you weren't going to get the right kind of service. And
I explained to him. I said, "Listen, I own several of your products, 2 or 3 different microphones, a mixer, and I like what you got." And the first email that I sent them, when I basically laid out the truth, I told him I spilled some damn coffee in it. Okay, so what can we do? And I don't know how they got it all twisted. He never even addressed that I needed the service. He says, well, we have enough, what do they call them? Promoters, not promoters, but people, influencers. I said, I'm not looking for you to give me anything. I just want my machine repaired. So I had to correct him on that. So I'm not asking for anything because I said, listen, I'm a 50-year broadcaster. I've got clients. I've, gotten other people to buy this product, and I like it a lot. But somehow they got that twisted that I was asking for something from them. I'm not. Just repair your product and tell me how much it's going to cost. That's it.
Yeah. So, well, technicians nowadays, as far as repairs, repairs, they don't do component level repairs anymore.
No.
Back in the day when I was a bench technician, we had to know how to go in and troubleshoot ICs and find transistors that was bad,
tubes and transformers.
All of that stuff. See, now they don't do that.
No.
They'll just swap out whole boards and and
well, that's fine too. Door. Send me a new motherboard. If you don't want to give me or provide the parts, or if you don't want to go in there and unsolder shit and put new parts back, okay, sell me the damn motherboard. So if you tell me it's $400 to replace it, okay. But let's get to that point.
Can I make a suggestion? You said it didn't fry. You did this.
Yeah, it still works.
Okay, so get some of that contact cleaner. I got it in that big.
Yeah.
That
I'm gonna take it apart and go down deep into it. But yeah, the biggest problem will probably be in the sliders itself.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can get in there and clean that out with some kind of solvent or solution contacts, so it'll probably last a year or so, and that's fine. That's fine. And listen, I've cursed myself out 62 times for being so stupid and having a cup of coffee right next to it, and something happened. I just finished the show, and I guess I was excited or something, and I hit the damn thing, and the coffee just went aloosh.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's my rant, and I'm done.
It's a fair rant. I'm sorry, you go on, Reggie. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, back in the day, you probably would have fired somebody if they was in the station.
Oh yeah, and I said that to them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I said, listen, guys, I have been in all kinds of environments in the broadcast business, radio and television, and when people spill stuff into consoles, that's a big no-no. I said, but you know what? We never kicked that console to the curb. We went in and we fixed it.
Right.
And that's all I'm looking for you guys to do. But they don't want to do that.
Well, let me ask you an important question about your coffee. Did you have any cream or sugar in it?
No sugar, but the cream. I did have creamer in it. Italian sweet cream.
Yeah, that's gonna leave a gook.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's gonna leave a gook. Yeah, sugar leaves a different kind of gook.
Yeah.
When you start tearing stuff apart, you can look at it and say, man, this got some crystallized stuff up in here. Somebody took cream and sugar in their coffee.
Right.
No, so it does make a difference. It does make a difference what you spill in there.
Yeah.
And Mr. Michaels, were you wearing pants?
What the fuck was that?
That's called a pattern interrupt, so we can move the fuck on.
Oh my God!
Don't answer that.
I have no response to that.
Oh man! Well,
but before we move on, I wanted to say about customer service. Lee, you are correct, because I had recently got some headphones and some mic screens from this local place, local next door to us, statewide from Indiana, called Sweetwater. So I ordered it. I got a call from them asking me, do you like the headphones? I didn't expect a phone call from them, but that went a long way.
Right.
So you'd be surprised about, and not to degrade other sources, but other companies that they'll outsource their customer service. They're from a different country. They're reading from a script. It's very impersonal. And so, I understand the money logic, but still, it's that one-on-one that we devoid now, because nowadays you go to a company, I go through all the, the online numbers, you got to press here to go here and go here, forget your real voice. So that's the technology and the time that we're living in. But to actually have somebody call you and say, look, we've sent you the product. Do you like it? If you don't like it, send it back. So it does go a long way, especially
that's nice.
You become an ongoing customer just because based upon that.
That's right. Exactly.
I haven't even, I got my Rhode Island. I think I had a month now. They haven't even sent no extra survey or nothing, customer satisfaction or nothing like that.
Yeah. Well, I guess they don't have to. Most of the time it's sold out at most places. So I guess when you're in that arrogant position,
yes,
you don't have to worry about it.
Yes.
So you lose a couple of customers, you pick up 5 more. But, that's the way of the world, I guess. Oh, one other little technical thing here. Today I have crossed over to the dark side.
Don't say it.
Okay. Which dark side have you crossed over to?
I bought a damn iPhone.
I knew it. I knew it.
Oh no.
A man likes toys. What can you say?
Oh man.
But I don't like Apple products.
You gonna come down on my phone, man?
Yeah.
Man.
You didn't make it.
He took ownership, right?
I'm sorry, Dr. Yoder. I mean my brand. Okay, now as we continue with this stuff, I mean, look, man, get up. Listen, you had Samsung. You've been using. I mean, excuse me. Don't get me.
Yep. I'm a Samsung dog to the end.
So
iPhones are fine.
You better be glad that that the other president is not in the presidency no more. Cause I'm telling you, you would have messed around, and that man would have made them people mad, and we would have found you burned up in your car.
Damn.
Your phone would have.
You're probably right.
Your phone would have caught on fire because them people over there in Korea, where they make the Samsung, they would have hit that button, and Lee Michaels burnt up in the car. I keep telling people,
and it's a 5G.
Oh, I keep telling people, man, I was just like James Brown. Just like James Brown. He was paranoid over the TVs in his house. Unplug it. I unplugged my Samsung products when I left my house. Every one of them, and never had the phone. But any turn it off, pull it out, man.
And yes, my Samsung phone that costs about a quarter of the iPhone also is 5G.
Yeah,
they all are now.
Yeah. So did you have to mortgage something in order to get this phone, Lee? Because I know you didn't get a deal, right? You just went out there, said, "Give me the phone."
You can't get no damn deal on phones. There's no deals. Come on. Are you serious? Unless you're buying it off the streets, black market.
Okay.
Fell off a truck, but no, ain't no damn deals, man. And they smile in your face while they stabbing you in the back.
Okay.
You're gonna drop $1,000 to $1,200 for a phone nowadays.
Well,
it's nuts.
Not me.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither, Yoda. I ain't doing that.
And I have a better phone than an iPhone.
Yeah, well, I got 2 other Samsung phones that I'm happy with.
Yeah.
What I'm doing is I have a Note 10 and a Note 8, and I'm dropping the Note 8, so I'm replacing the 8 with the iPhone. The only reason that I'm going to the iPhone is there's an app that runs on the iPhone and the iPad and all the new Apple products that controls the Blackmagic switch. So it'll be handy.
I knew in Vegas, Blackmagic switch. Yeah. By the way, when you bought the iPhone, Mr. Michaels, were you wearing pants?
Yes.
So did y'all see Yoda's plugger about the strippers that he know and their names?
No, I think I missed that one.
He put a plugger up.
I told you I was going to do it. I told you I was going to make a logo, SNN, stripper names now, and I did.
Yeah. I did see the revision of the logo. It's
not the actual logo, but I made a new logo that says stripper names now. Yeah, you got to check your Facebook page. It's on there.
Yeah.
Oh, you stuck it on the Facebook.
I'm gonna have to like cover that up on my page because you liable to bring up some people in my past, man. I'm supposed to be associated with some other stuff, and then you like, man, don't you know I got a wife?
Oh boy.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Unbelievable. Man, all right, let's move on to the serious stuff here. Well, Ryan, why don't you go first?
No, I'm waiting on a call. My guest is coming in. Remember, we were talking about the George Floyd.
Yeah, well, we have your guest here.
You got him here?
Yeah. There we go.
There you go. There's
no, that's Cory. Not your guess. That's Cory.
Yeah, that's Cory. Yeah.
How the hell did you get in here?
Yeah. I know you can't recognize your own child. I understand.
He's obviously in witness protection.
Yeah, exactly. All dark and everything. Hell, I just saw the top of his head.
Uh-huh.
How'd you get the link?
Don't worry about it. I mean, I know people, right?
You know people in low places, huh?
I know a lot of people in a lot of places.
I
Come on,
see.
man.
I see.
I'm in
I
your
see.
hometown right now.
Yep.
Just chilling.
Chilling.
No, I wanted to come on here to wish you a happy early birthday. I think you turn 17 tomorrow?
Yep.
All over again?
It just flip those numbers around.
Yeah, on the metric system.
That's right. Yeah, thanks, son. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me.
And when I get back home, I'll show you how to use the iPhone. I know you're going to need some training.
Listen, this piece of crap, it's been transferring the data from my Samsung, and it was saying 18 damn hours. I ain't got that much stuff.
I mean, Samsung kind of slow, so.
No. Now it's down to, it's up to 37 hours now.
Just connected to the doggone computer, man. As the backup. What's up with that?
Well, it's got to transfer everything that was on one phone to the other.
That should take about 5 or 10 minutes, but hey, it's that advanced iPhone slave-made mentality. What are you going to do?
Whatever. I dig the iPhone, so whatever.
So Cory, you said you're in
700 off my other phone, so I don't care what you say.
So Cory, you say you're in his hometown. Which hometown is that? He lives so many places.
Where he's from?
Where he's from?
Right.
Virginia, Norfolk, Chesapeake, Virginia Beach.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
I thought it was Tupelo, Mississippi was where he was from.
No, I've never even been through there.
He ain't from there.
I know where it is, but I've never been through Tupelo.
I was born by the river.
Hey,
that's Elvis Presley home.
I'm actually moving someone from California that works for Apple all the way up to Massachusetts.
Now we know how he found an iPhone. Fell off a truck.
Make sure you break some of his shit.
Now we know how the Apple came up. Okay.
I wish I had gotten a falling off the truck deal, but I didn't.
But anyway, I'm gonna let you guys get back to the show. Just wanted to wish the birthday boy a happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right.
All right. Be safe out there, boy. Yeah, he's just finished a run. He picked up some people. Where did he pick them up? Here in Vegas, and I think Arizona, and dropped off their furniture in North Carolina, Hampton, and Jessup, Maryland. So he he's picking up some stuff there in Virginia and headed back to the West Coast of California.
Okay.
So he's the galloping ghost from coast to coast.
Okay.
Making that big money.
Big money, coast to coast, east to west. Yeah.
Yeah. He's trying to talk me into buying some trucks. And but there are no trucks available. There's a shortage right now. Shortage of drivers and trucks. I called one dealer.
You got to go to the auction. They got plenty of trucks, repo trucks. They got them all the time.
Okay, well, you got to tell me where that is.
Yeah.
I talked to a dealer today. They said they won't even have any new trucks until November.
Yeah.
Of any brand. It doesn't matter because of COVID. A lot of the factories, the steel mills and the IC, the technology companies are all shut down. So everything's behind.
Yeah, and just like COVID, all them people that did not play their truck note, their truck got repossessed, and now they up for sale at the auction. Just like all them cars that they had.
But you know what? The trucks were doing well because, they were shipping food and, hard goods from all over. So it was a high demand and UPS and Amazon and all those guys they're killing it, crushing it.
Yeah, but they didn't
even
pay
the box trucks are short.
They didn't pay their note, So that's when the repo man came and got them, and now they sitting on the auction lot waiting on somebody to come buy them. There you go. That's it. That's all.
Take the load off Fanny.
There you go. Yeah. So
where's your guess? The guess is
they're supposed to be popping up, I guess, around now, because I didn't know I was going to be the first one. You know,
okay. Well, you can take
well,
a back seat.
you want to go to BoomShockalaka and then come back to me?
Oh, go ahead,
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, why not? So this topic is interesting because Martin Bashir used to work here in America doing nighttime anchoring for a Nightline on ABC. The reason why he got that job because back in 2003, he released a documentary about Michael Jackson, which he had overseas in London and did well, and he brought over here to America. And he was able to parlay that into a deal for him to work with ABC because ABC picked it up. It did great ratings. But unfortunately, Michael Jackson's nephew, Taj, who is the son of Tito Jackson, said Martin Bashir stabbed him in the back during this time. Also during the filming, Jackson said he slept in the same bed as underage boys, but did not anything sexually. That was a big thing. You know, in fact, they used that going into the Michael Jackson trial. Taj also said that Bashir used a letter from Princess Diana to convince Michael Jackson to do the documentary because he knew both Michael Jackson and Princess Diana were very close. He's also come under scrutiny because of the fact that he, meaning Martin Bashir, they said overseas in London that he used falsified records to convince Princess Diana to do the interview that she did with him back in the day. Martin Bashir from BBC has since stepped down, but then it's not saying why he stepped down because it's about to get hot. But now parlayed into now this whole thing of Michael Jackson's documentary is beyond sad. And this is what happens when, unfortunately, you have journalists who lie, or the whole, Three Stooges legal team, Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe situation comes into play. And then all of a sudden, you get busted for what you were doing. You got nothing. Because you got caught with your pants down here. I'm sorry. You got caught. It was usually what happens. So to me, I think it's beyond sad that had you had not done this, it could not have maybe parlay into a different situation where you talk about the unfortunate deaths or leading to the microcosm of your illegal situation to get a story that people do all the time. I thought it was funny because I was watching footage about this on Inside Edition, and all of a sudden they started to use footage from the CBS morning show with Gayle King. So here's Gayle King saying it's wrong to ambush a guest. The hell with you, because you tried to ambush Lisa Leslie months ago about the whole Kobe Bryant situation. I just thought it was funny because, it's funny how some people say, oh, that's wrong, but you did dirt. How you call somebody on dirt and bullshit when you did the exact same thing yourself? So the whole thing about this ambush journalism or lying to get it, you cannot get away because time will tell and, you will pay. And I think Martin Bashir is definitely paying for it. And at least he should apologize. He's not going to do it. But look what he's done from his standpoint of doing, illegal crap.
Yeah.
So what is he doing now?
He has since been removed and stepped down from the BBC as a journalist. He doesn't broadcast anymore at this point.
He's February. Okay. Well, bye-bye.
Yeah, Black History. There you go.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The problem with media nowadays, there's no honor. It's all about sensationalizing, taking advantage of a situation, milking the cow to your own advantage, breaking something first with half-ass information. And I don't like that, I really don't. At Street News now, I'm with breaking the news, reporting the facts, but don't make up some stuff. We got enough of that with Fox and some of these other tabloid type so-called news organizations. They're not news. It's propaganda and commentary. And so let's get that clear. I mean, what we're doing right now is commentary. We're not reporting news. I mean, you talked about a story that's in the news.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you gave your opinion. You reported it, but then you gave your opinion on it. So that takes it out of journalism. It becomes commentary. So that's people, the average person don't understand the difference. Because Fox calls themselves the Fox News Network doesn't necessarily mean they're doing the news. Shepard Smith comes on at 4:00 here on the West Coast. His show is a news show, and I watch it every day. And then I think it's repeated again at like 9 or something like that. But he's reporting the news. He's not saying, well, you know, that's kind of messed up about the COVID thing. He doesn't do that. He reports the story as the facts that is presented to him, and that's the way it is, and that's the way it should be.
Mm-hmm. You're right. And people don't know. If they don't know, like, for example, you may have people still, even in media, will go to the shade room for information.
That's right.
And they think that that's the way to go, but it's not. Once again, you said before, it's about when you look at certain sources, yes, you can form an opinion and things like that. That's cool, but consider the source where you get it from. From an opinion to an opinion, that doesn't really work. I mean, people do it, but it doesn't really have any weight. You get it from a credible news source like an ABC, NBC, or CBS, and even Fox to a degree, because they have their own minions of their right wing to the right of Genghis Khan followers. Mm-hmm. That's their source of information, and they don't stray away from that. And someone like Shepard Smith, isn't Shepard Smith now on CNBC now, Lee?
Yes.
Okay. So right. So when he made the move, obviously he was handcuffed to a degree by Fox. He seemed to be one of the most, outside of Fox, it was him and sometimes interviewer and the reporter Chris Wallace seemed to be like the only two at that point that were outside the Fox norm. The
exactly.
Had a fair balance. But now that Shepard is unhandcuffed, he can really do what he's supposed to do, and that's give a straightforward news program.
That's
There's
right.
a little known history with Rupert Murdoch and Fox, and this particular history exploits essentially a loophole in our understanding of journalism. For instance, long story short, a couple of Rupert's reporters were upset because they were trying to do a story, an expose on Rupert's business friends, and he killed it. And those two guys sued him. And when he was in court, the lawyer for Rupert Murdoch said, well, there's nothing compelling news organizations to tell the truth, right? There's an assumption that if you label yourself a news organization, that you are part of journalists and journalism and journalistic integrity, and that what you say is well-researched and true. But it doesn't have to be. That's why I'm particularly concerned that Murdoch now owns the Wall Street Journal, because as soon as it was announced that he bought it, I thought, well, there's no way to rely on that periodical anymore, because a guy who confessed to being a liar in court now owns that paper. So, we give a lot of latitude to the Fourth Estate, but the fact is that there is no law compelling a journalism organization to tell the truth.
And that's a problem. I feel like I'm getting sandbagged here. Laura Rice, where are you? Are you in the truck with Cory? Because it looks kind of dark there, too. Oh, she dropped out. Dr. Al Greer. What's up, Dr. Al? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm rocking, jocking, and finger popping.
And finger popping. Hello.
Oh, boy. Good to see you.
Good to be seen as opposed to being viewed.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Amen on that, brother. Amen. So what you got going on, man? What's happening with you?
Well, welcome to the show, my brother.
Well, thank you. From one doctor to another. Dr. Ron, thank you so much. Just sitting here at work. Actually, I'm laying here at work because after 40 years, I have earned the right to come to work, and they have a couch, and I put everything on auto, and I said, I'm just going to chill.
Wow.
My cup of my favorite drink.
Okay.
Which is water.
I'm with you on that. Amen.
Yeah.
So you're at the station doing your B-sides?
Actually, I'm at the other radio station, which I board out, and that's WBGX, which is the gospel station.
Oh,
But
okay.
everything is already pre-programmed, so
What
I
the
come
hey, right?
pretty much babysit the computer.
Yeah. Just make sure it's running.
Make sure it's running, and I'm like, oh, it's running. Okay, I'm on the couch.
Boy, radio has really changed.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, let me change the card. Oops, ain't none.
No carts. Wow, that's kind of cool. Now, what station is it? I don't recognize the call letters.
Formerly known as WBEE, it's now WBGX, which is
okay.
I've been here for like maybe 3 or 4 years. At first, I voiced the station.
Okay.
And then they had a opening for a board op. I'm like, well, that's what I started out doing in the business. So I'm making $15 an hour to come lay on the couch 2 days a week and get a paycheck every 2 weeks. I said, that's not bad money.
Yeah. Sure. Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, it's a hard job, I tell you. Whew, boy.
He's sweating.
Whew, man.
That's too funny. Well, that's good.
I mean, keeping since I was 18, I tell you.
Right? They're keeping you out of trouble.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, y'all know now that Dr. Al Greer was my voice in the community that I invited to the show tonight, so I know he has a special announcement he'd like to make.
Oh yeah, just put me on the spot, or will you? Why don't you?
Right.
Happy birthday, Uncle Lee.
Well, thank you. Oh, that's what this is about. Okay.
Because normally at this time, like I said, I'm knocked out on the couch, but
right. Well, I feel honored that we broke your nap time, and I appreciate you coming in and giving me the happy birthday wish. I appreciate that.
You are so welcome, and you are so deserving of it. And like I always tell people, you're the only person that ever beat yourself in the ratings.
And had fun doing it. Yeah, it was. It was a lot of fun.
And I'm proud to call you uncle, because when we were kids, we were not allowed to call people by their first names unless they said it was okay. So you will forever be Uncle Lee, or Uncle Famous to me.
Uncle somebody.
Uncle somebody.
Yeah.
Hey, Al,
not Uncle Daddy, but anyway.
Hey, Al, could you tell people? I'm sorry, Dr. Al. I've got 2 doctors on here.
Yeah, Dr. Al Greer. Yes.
I'm sorry. All right, take 2. Dr. Al Greer. Could you do me a favor and tell the people out there what you meant by when you said Lee beat himself in the ratings? Just tell a little historical point for people who may not know.
Yeah, let me be more specific. Not beat himself with a bat, but anyway. When I heard of Lee Michaels, he was at BMX, and he was doing a morning show, Famous and Ross. And of course, he got hired by the competition to go over to program GCI. So he created both monsters, both BMX and GCI. So when he got hired by the competition, he beat the station that he built to go up against the other station. So like I said, he's the only person that I know of, the only program director that I know of that's ever beat himself in the ratings.
It was fun and painful at the same time, because when I went across this, when I left BMX to go to GCI, I left a lot of friends behind.
Yeah.
Cats and ladies that I work with and honored and highly respected, and they were all talented. And I had to go over there and tear what I build up apart. But that's what I was hired to do. So you got to, go in there and give it your best.
Right. No hard feelings. It was business.
No, exactly. And I took some of those people with me, and couldn't bring everybody over, because otherwise everybody would have a 1-hour show.
Exactly. Exactly.
But yeah, it was painful and fun at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds like a stripper I know. No, sorry, go ahead.
Room ting. Thank
Exactly.
you.
That's
but
funny.
it was interesting because being a fan or I guess a fanatic of radio, it was interesting to see. I'm like, okay, this guy, and I don't know if I told Dr. Ron this story of how I met you, and I don't think you remember. Remember the Taste Entertainment Center on 63rd and Low?
Absolutely.
That's where I met you.
Okay.
Some 40 years ago, I was working out at WLTH in Gary.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing weekends, and you just happened to be in the bathroom in the stall next to me. I said, "Lee Michaels, hey, how you doing, sir? My name is Al Greer. I'm working out at WLTH, and I was wondering if I could come over to BMX and work." So you're taking care of business, and you're
Did I
like,
pee on your leg?
no, not quite.
He does that, he has to mark his territory. It's very
right, exactly.
embarrassing.
Somehow I wish he had of, but anyway, hey, Michael's pissed on me. Hey,
I would have been obligated to hire you at that point.
Yeah,
all right, we're clearly off the air now.
Right, exactly.
I've met some interesting people in the men's room. I also met Walter Cronkite in the airport in New Orleans at the urinal. I looked over and there's Walter. So, we struck a conversation up and washed our hands. We were walking out, talking like we've been knowing each other for 25 years. And my wife was standing out there in the lobby. And, and I'm talking to Walter, and she says, "You know who you're talking to?" I said, "Yeah, it's my old friend Walter." And he played right along with it. He said, "Oh, we go way back. What are you talking about?"
And we actually have a recording of that conversation, Lee, where you said at the urinal, "Wow, this water's cold," and Cronkite said, "Yeah, and it's deep too."
Deep too. And that's the way it was.
or even, "I'm Walter Cronkite, and that's the way I was."
Too funny.
Yeah.
But remember what you said to me? You said, "Well, that's great. Now you need to go to KSOL and San Mateo and K." You ran down a whole bunch of stations. I was like, let me just wash my hands and get the hell out of here. But it encouraged me.
Yeah.
It didn't discourage me, but it encouraged me.
Encourage you, yeah. And I think we all have one of those stories because I was told early on in my career that I was the worst jock this guy had ever heard, and he thought I should consider doing something other than radio.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't discourage me. I was a kid. I was like 14, 15 years old. And I went home. I cried on the way home on the bus because I couldn't drive. And I got home and I said, I got to make a better tape. So it made me stronger. And that's the way it works sometimes.
And the same thing happened to me a few years later. I was sitting in the office with Barry Mayo, and I had made this, what I thought was a great air check.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Man, you must really love Quincy Jones." Well, that particular year he had this album out, and everything on the album was just,
hot. Yeah.
Hot. So I took everything, and I did my intros over it. He said, let you listen to an air check. And he played an air check of this guy. I think he called himself Mark Elliott or something like that. His real name was Jimi Hendrix. Well, I know Jimi. Tape, and I was like, it was a long ride home on the bus and on the L and on the other bus. And I went home and I started again from scratch. And once again, 40 years later, here I am talking to you guys. So,
well, you should have asked Barry to play an air check of himself. Because Barry really sucked on the air. Okay.
Yeah, he was the worst jock.
He was not good. Yeah.
Nah.
And he had no shame. He even put himself on the air in New York City, and I went like, oh,
Really?
yeah. He did some part-time, fill in emergency stuff, I think, but he was not
I
good.
remember he did 1 day a week, middays at GCI.
Yeah.
And I think that was Graham's spot or Steve Harris's spot at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But he would come on once a week and do his thing.
Yeah,
I guess,
yeah.
To
Just
keep limber.
Right. Brush off the microphone.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but there are a lot of people in the business that manage and program radio stations, but when it comes to the art of working the microphone,
couldn't do it.
They couldn't do it. Yeah, it's a whole different thing.
Yeah, whole different thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned the and I say this all the time. I said the best education I ever got was just listening to people talk, being around Herb Kent, Richard Pegee, Jim Rags, Richard Steele, just sitting there quiet and listening to them talk. That was the best education that I never had to pay for. And that was
you just named off a bunch of great radio guys, and you could learn a lot from them because they had already made the mistakes that you were about to make.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they've polished it up and perfected it. So yeah.
Herb used to get on me all the time. He said, why would you do that? Why would you say that on the air? What were you thinking?
That's a good impression.
What did I do? What did I say? And then Richard would come on and think, no, that record wasn't made then because you don't know because you weren't born. So get your facts straight before you go on the air telling facts that aren't really facts. That's stuff that you just don't know.
Pulling out of your butt. Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, Uncle Richard, I won't do it again. So
don't stop now. Do Rags.
Well, since I'm on a roll here, I might as well do Jim Rags, your ever-loving rag man. He's like, hey, Al, you got a great set of pipes there, man. You need to do some spots, some national spots or something like that. So says your ever-loving rag man. So
ever-loving rag man.
Yeah.
Playing great golden grooves on BMX on Sundays. Yeah.
So that was my education. It wasn't Columbia, it wasn't Kennedy King. It was the Mount Rushmore of radio.
Yeah.
I just wish that I had gotten a chance to meet others like Frankie Crocker, Jerry Bledsoe, Ken Spiderweb, and Von Harper. I would have loved to have been in the room with them. Yeah. And just been a fly on the wall, just sitting there watching them have a conversation.
And it's interesting because I've met all of those guys and worked with some of them. And they're an East Coast bunch. And I'm from the East Coast. But it's a different style, different attitude than that of the Midwest or the West Coast or even the Southern a group of personalities. So I feel blessed that I've had the opportunity to work all four corners of the United States and to experience those different flavors of radio personalities, radio stations, the music, and I miss it. And I think the people miss it because there is a drastic difference in those different areas of the country that's being ignored now. And it breaks my heart because I used to love going down south and hear the guys clown down there, man. It's like, whoa, you're talking about rappers.
Yeah.
And then you go up to New York and Jersey and Philadelphia and even DC. It was a smoother, more suave bono, kind of mood. And then the Midwest was a little funkier. And the West Coast really didn't have much flavor. It's kind of bland. But at the same time, it is what it is. That's the attitude and the culture of the people on the West Coast. And there's a slight difference between San Francisco and LA even. LA was a little more star kind of thing. San Francisco is just, kind of cool, laid back, easygoing. no real high intensity or anything like that. But I've been fortunate enough to have experienced all of that, and it's great.
Because as a young adult, I thought I had known everything about radio when I heard, the VON Good Guys, and then I heard an air check of everyone over at WBLS. I'm like, whoa, this is different. Nobody's hollering, nobody's rapping, everybody's just, deep voices, smooth delivery, just, everybody was just smooth and laid back. I mean, I ain't gay, but I fell in love with Frankie Crocker.
Oh, he was slick. And Jerry Bledsoe.
He was the man, and Jerry Bledsoe,
yeah,
who was also he doubled as an announcer on this show called Soul, I think it was. And Von Harper, when I heard him, I was like, oh man.
And voice sounded exactly the same in real life as he did on the radio.
Yeah.
That's what tripped me out. I met Vaughn on the elevator at BLS because I was with a woman for 4 years who worked there. And so and Fred Buggs used to come over to our place, and but Vaughn, it shocked me when I heard Vaughn's voice. It was exactly the same as on the radio, which is very unusual.
It is. Laura Rice,
ridiculously low. I'm like, whoa, make me sound like Minnie Mouse.
Yeah. What's up, Laura?
Hey, Lee, I just wanted to wish you happy birthday.
Well, thank you. Very nice. You called me earlier today, and then I called you back, and your box was full. So I guess you're not doing the COVID. That you're jamming it in now, huh?
No, I'm not jamming it in. Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Well, and it's funny because your box was full is exactly the stripper that I knew enough.
Boom, team.
Boom, 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 boom.
But I've been bugging you the past couple of weeks because I wanted to send you a birthday treat and you never sent me your address. I assume you think I'm going to stalk you or something. So.
Oh, that's what that was all about. Well, listen. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, ganache.
Is that chocolate cake?
Chocolate ganache. Yeah, I got other stuff for you too, but
I'll give you my address.
Oh, no.
Hey, the only thing better than chocolate ganache is chocolate ganache in the mail.
Right, exactly. I really apologize. I thought I had given it to you.
Oh, that's okay.
But I guess I was having a senior moment. So.
Yeah, because
please excuse me.
It took me a couple of times to get the phone number. I thought I had. And I had this man. I got somebody want to talk to you.
Oh, and he did.
Phone number.
And he called.
I'll be right
we
back
talked yesterday
on my 9 o'clock show. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go hit a button and come back. Rough life. God damn. What does the radio world come to? And Chris, it's your fault. You screwed it all up.
Okay. Okay.
You take ownership, huh?
I'll take the hit. I'll take because it's your birthday.
Right.
The oldest living Negro that I know. I'll take the hit.
That would be me.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be that old.
That's right.
And live here to laugh about it. Absolutely. So, Laura, you've been staying out of trouble, huh?
Trying. I mean, it's pretty easy. It's, we're still in COVID, so you know. I went out once. I dined outside, early bird dinner, 4:00 at a vegan restaurant, and that's it. And that was last Saturday. So, but I'm fully back. So.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So I have a question for you based on going out Saturday afternoon to a vegan restaurant. Mm-hmm. How was the sex?
There was no sex.
There you go.
Yeah.
So a waste of time otherwise.
College friend, hadn't seen in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Got me to go out, dudes keep calling. I keep saying no, how it is.
So you were a little hungry.
I might be in Chicago in August, so maybe I'll come by. We'll have a vegan lunch.
The lunch, huh?
Stop. Oh, stop. Please stop.
Oh my goodness.
Why am I the only woman on this show? Like, what is up? Like, this is not.
It's because your standards are low enough to be here.
Oh my God.
This has gone from bad to worse.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. But so what are you doing for your birthday, Lee? What are you gonna do?
I'd like to sleep all day.
Okay.
You know, when you get my age, that's all you want to do is take naps. But I think we're going to go up to Red Rock and I got this new barbecue grill kind of thing. It's a little portable thing and throw some vegetables on the grill.
Okay. No meat?
Shit. All meat all the time.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, we're gonna throw. I got some ribeye steaks and some ribs. You know, so yeah, we're gonna get down.
Okay, good. Good. Well, I just want to thank you for everything that you've done for me. I can only speak for myself. I know how much you've done for other folks as well, but just wanted to take a little bit of time to celebrate you. As you know.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you too.
Thank you.
Yeah. You've been an inspiration to me, and I appreciate your talent and craft and wisdom and strength. And should I stop lying now?
Yeah.
I heard no lies there. You know, so it's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, all but good. No, thank you. I appreciate you coming in.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
I really do.
Thank you for allowing us to be part of what you do and who you are. So,
well,
yeah,
it's easy.
Okay, cool. Yeah, how are you gentlemen doing, and how are you all celebrating our Lee?
Good, absolutely. You know, we all have our individual stories that we'll get into as the show progresses or as we continue to go downhill. But it's for me like anything else. No, there you go. See, there you go. That's the $15 dollar guy.
I'll tell you, they're wearing me out here. Oh, man.
Hey, I'm telling you. But you know, once again, we'll go along as the show progresses. But like anything else, you know what helped me trigger this off was two things. A guy named John Lewis, who Lee knows. And he reached out to me on Messenger. He said, "I hope you do something special for Lee." So I said, "Oh, cool." And then I, went to Ron, and it went from there. And then went to, Francisco, and of course, a professor, and it went on from there. So because of that, I was like, "Okay, we got to do something special for Lee." And then, Reggie, you were on with Ron a couple of weeks ago on Ron's show, and I'm paraphrasing the question, but along this lines. Ron asked you, why did you join Street News Now? And Professor was like, well, that's simple. Lee Michaels. So I was like, those two galvanizing points triggered to where we are right now, as far as I'm concerned.
Wow.
Damn,
and see,
you mean I added to this? Ain't this something, boy?
Yeah, you did.
Well, you know the old saying, Professor, even a broken clock is right twice a day.
There you go. Whispers. I ain't gonna whispers.
The words of wisdom coming out. So Ron,
I for one want to make sure that this is a memorable birthday for Lee. So I can't imagine doing anything greater than lying to him like everybody else in his life.
Real.
Whatever her name was, she lied. Okay, so we're going to continue to lie to you to make sure that it's a memorable day for you.
Well,
because I know you at 70-something years old, you done heard a bunch of lies in your lifetime.
All my life. Lies on top of lies. Feel
disappointed on this day.
Back-to-back lies.
Yeah, because at 12 o'clock, it starts all over again, okay? At midnight, you get to get some more lies coming your way.
That's the truth. Yeah, just see, it's all coming together now because Ron's been a pain in the ass for the last week or so. He's been bugging me, calling me 5 times a day. Yeah,
last week, exactly, Francis.
And I keep telling him, man, I'm gonna send you the damn link. Keep your drawers on, please. Give me a break. Well, I got my guest coming in. Okay, all right. Well, this was 3 hours before showtime, and he's like, "When are you gonna send the link?"
Yeah.
Well, now it's all coming together.
He works in a bill collector, man.
Yeah, really.
I'm surprised that didn't set off red flags because normally Ron doesn't give a shit about what goes on here.
Well, I normally call and give him shit on a regular basis.
All the time. Yeah.
So on a regular basis, I call and fuck with him, day after the show, day of the show. He started putting me on a timetable, y'all. He's like, man, today is not Thursday. Why are you fucking with me? It's like, I'm like, so I'm only allowed to fuck with you on Thursday? He's like, yeah man, get the hell
every
off
day of the week
line.
Gets to be a little hard,
and then when he don't answer on one line, I got the other line. I'll call and order a fucking ride. I'm like, hey man, I need a fucking ride. Oh, okay, I'm just playing. I don't need a damn ride.
Yeah, I was on the phone. I was on the phone with my sister and my son, and he called me on the line that we were on, and and I couldn't tell the two of them because on a 3-way call. Hold on, Dr.Ron is calling, so he calls on my other phone. But see, I got a cure. I have a cure for Dr. Ron. That's why I bought another phone, because I'm going to change the numbers on all my phones, and you won't be able to get to me anymore. So
that's it.
Now,
witness protection is in full effect.
That's right.
Yeah.
So,
look,
I got you.
You ain't got to worry about it now. Your birthday ain't till next year, so
that's right. Well, I'll be ready for next year.
I'm like, it's all over now. You can go back to normal. I don't care.
Well, wait a minute. Hold that phone up real quick.
Which one? This?
Yeah, turn that around.
Apple.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bit the bullet, huh?
Yeah, I moved over to the dark side.
Okay. Well, welcome.
Shut up.
At least now you don't have to worry. At least now you don't have to worry about the Koreans burning, setting off your battery to burn you up.
Well, what's the difference?
Now it's the Chinese. Congratulations.
What's the difference? Same thing. John Lewis. Hey man, I love you, brother. If it was not for John Lewis, I would have been homeless in 1973 because the radio station I went to work for there reneged on the hotel expenses. So my first paycheck at KATZ went to the Downtowner Hotel in St. Louis. My whole entire check. When I went to check out, because I found a place I was going to move into, and I had enough money to do that for my first check, and then even when I get to the counter there to check out, the guy says, "Well, that's going to be $287, whatever it was." I said, "Well, yeah, that's the station has a trade deal, and talk to them about that." They said, "Oh no, they use the trade up." I said, "What are you talking about?" So I went to the radio station. I talked to Keith Adams, the program director. He says, "Well, you're going to have to talk to Doug Eason. He does all the trade deals." And Doug says, "Well, young man, what do you want to do? Go back to Norfolk?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "Well, it's your responsibility. It's your bill." I said, "But that was not the agreement." Said, "Well, you can quit if you want to. Don't matter to me." So I stuck it out, and if it was not for John Lewis allowing me to stay at his place, I would not have been able to make it there in St. Louis. So, John, forever, you're my man. And it was like a studio apartment. So it was a pull-down bed. We both shared that bed at different times of the day. So, that most people wouldn't do that. They wouldn't allow you to have access to their only bed.
Right.
So he is a real kind and generous. He was a pretty good cook too. First time I ever had a pork loin pork chop, and he cooked that, and I've never had one quite like that ever since then. And he's a professional chef now.
Right.
He was an engineer, and I guess he was part-time chef during that time in 1973. And he's down there in Texas. You hear my dogs going off. Somebody just came in the house.
Oh, I thought that was Ron's date.
Well,
you would have to wait till tomorrow night. The weekend starts tomorrow night.
Gotcha.
You know.
Days off. Okay.
But weekends are for amateurs.
right?
Hey, I take it when I can get it.
Let me say this about Francisco real quick, because people understand. Before we hit at 8 p.m., let me go through the time zone, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, and then 6 p.m. on the West Coast. We have what we call the green room, or, the pregame. So off the bat, Francisco had admitted that he had a nap and caffeine. So once you have a nap and caffeine, he's been on point. He's been knocking them out and laying them out ever since. So this is no different. He just started early and continue on the festivities. So look out for look. You gotta do a phantom punch with that motherfucker over there. I'm telling you, man, because you go get hit.
Mike Love in the house.
Very often, my broadcasting ability is a lot like the film Awakenings with Robin Williams and Robert De Niro. It's I'll come up for a minute, I'll say something relevant, and then go back into a coma.
Hey Lee, put the link out there so people can chop in.
I've been casting a few broads myself.
Hello.
Hi-oh.
You are correct, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Coming in saying it's so cool and stuff. Well, you ain't the only one been broadcasting. I've been broadcasting a few myself.
My friend from St. Louis, Mike Love, is in the room. Mike, I just sent you the link if you'd like to come in and harass me. And hang on, guys. You guys carry on for a second. I got to answer the door. Because the dogs are not smart enough to do so.
It's Laura's Bunt Cake.
We was talking about Frankie Crocker, and I'm going to tell you, I fell in love with him when I saw him, and knowing him been playing, but when I saw him on 5 on the black hand side, when he played the numbers, man, and he whatever he said, it was so cool. The way he came in and just said that little, what you call it, Francisco, a little soliloquy. What's that thing, man?
Soliloquy.
Yeah. He did one of them things, right? Yeah. That's it. He did one of them things, and then went back in the back, right, and pulled out the little wine bottle. Went on and took him a nip. I just looked at that a few minutes ago, and then the jocks. It was several jocks that got a chance to get them movie roles too. Rodney got a movie role because of his pipes. Don Cornelius got a movie role. I think Don got his in Foxy Brown. But he played himself, And but Frankie with his part, that was good. At a lot of times, a lot of them jocks was getting in movie roles. Herb never got one. Did Herb ever get a? Yes, he did. He did get a.
He was in Love Jones.
Yeah.
Richard, but he had no lines. He was just
standing up there. Yeah.
Man, we talk about broadcasting with pipes. So, for example, when my dad got arrested, we'll say, your voice reminds me of Sid McCoy. I was like, who's Sid McCoy? He said, when he was coming up in the day, Sid McCoy, let's see, listen to him overnight on the radio here in Chicago. He said, your voice reminds me of his. Now, his voice is different than mine. My dad's voice is different than mine. He's telling me I sound like the Sid McCoy person. So, years prior, I was trying to make the connection. Every Saturday morning, you get up in the morning, get your bowl of cereal, watch, Saturday morning cartoons, and then you went from, depending on who you was, ABCs with American Bandstand with Dick Clark, and then Soul Train came on here in Chicago at 12 noon on Channel 5. I'm sorry, Channel 9. So my dad walks past, and the Soul Train starts to come on. Soul Train, the hippest. And my dad was like, that's the motherfucker right there. That motherfucker right there. That's what you sound like. So Sid McCoy was the guy that introduced all the stuff on Soul Train. I didn't know the connection. My dad was like, that's the motherfucker you sound like right there. There we go right there. So ever since then, I went back and did some research on Sid McCoy and everything that he done. And I was like, man, because I would love it. I always imitated Sid McCoy to my friends, the Soul Train Scrabble Board is brought to you by, and then do shit like that. But I used to imitate Sid McCoy. So, especially, look, what was embarrassing, Rick, on the side note? The goddamn Soul Train Scrabble Board. A lot of these people had bad education because I thought they would tell them the answers to it, like for example, okay, if the answer is Tina Turner, then goddamn spell Tina Turner.
Right.
This singer used to work with Ike Turner. It took seconds to work this out. We listen to that, listen to this. Here's some Marvin Gaye. And they're going back, and they couldn't even spell Tina Turner, for God's sake.
What, they spell it tuna?
Tuna, whatever the hell it was, we have their own goddamn alphabet.
We got a lot of feedback.
As David, put your headphones on. David, can you hear us?
Oh, let me find some headphones.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, but you put your headphones on.
Can you hear?
Now to the dark side.
So wait on.
I'll mute him for now.
So for those that don't know, David is one of Lee's newest students that he has brought into broadcasting. He's been working with David for a minute, trying to rough out his rough edges. And so now David is coming on board almost as an accomplished broadcaster. Can you hear us now, David?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you.
Coach, man, I want to thank you, Coach Michaels. I'm glad to be aboard on this team. It's a lot of issues that needs to be tackled in this country, and people need to know the truth, and it's left up to the last true line media people that coaches talk like mine and the rest of us here who can deliver a message that's true. So, Coach, I wanted to wish you happy birthday. I'll give you a quick song. Happy birthday to you.
Don't sing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Coach Michael. Happy birthday to you. Y'all ain't no good.
He threatened that he was going to sing happy birthday to me last week. And I went, okay, that'd be nice. But pass. No, thanks, David. I appreciate that.
Yeah, Coach. I go to bed early, man.
Yeah.
I'll be in the bed early, so man, I get up at 3 every morning and in the gym by 4 o'clock.
Oh,
so,
boy.
When Ron told me, I was like, okay. And man, my old butt went back there and went to sleep, and I just woke up. I was like, oh no, Coach, oh. But anyway, yeah, man, it's an honor and a privilege to be working with you, Coach. And,
well, thank you. Yeah, you're a handful, but we're gonna make it do what it do.
And, so y'all have lights out early at the institution where you at?
He's like a farmer. He's a farmer. Only farmers go to bed at sundown.
I get up like man.
Yeah, he froze up. So
he must be
no time.
He must be on his cell phone, but he's got a $2,000 studio sitting over there that he should be on right now. But no, he's on his cell phone.
All that money's paying off, huh?
Right.
I just woke up, man. I was like, oh God, I got to get on the phone.
He panicked, yeah.
So I just ran to the nearest phone and just grabbed it. It's like, okay, let me get on before it gets too late.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that.
Yes, folks, I ain't going to stay long, man. I love you, Coach, and all of us. Let's get together at some point and let's make it do what we have to do, because from what I see, we're the last line of defense for the Black community. That's going to deliver the real message and really put up a good fight to restructure our family structure again and get our community back on track. So, Coach Michaels, I appreciate you guys. I want to meet the rest of you, and I love you, Coach, man. So let's keep you doing, and let's build a future of Coach Michaels out there across this country. So,
all right. Thank you,
guys
David.
have a good one. Ron, thanks for bringing me in. I'm getting myself back in the bed, Coach. I got to get on the road in the morning. I'm going fishing.
You're going fishing?
All right. God bless you guys. I love you, man. Let's keep up the good work. Peace.
All right. Take care. Get some rest.
All right, bro. Peace.
Wow, Lee, you got bumped by trout.
Yeah, right? Ain't that something? That sounds fishy to me. Anybody that goes anybody that goes to bed at sundown got to be a farmer.
Either that or they turn the lights out and they make you go to bed. You know how that go. At them institutions where you're not allowed to have real forks and knives. They give you plastic stuff. You
mean he's in the house like a
plates.
child on punishment, on lockdown?
All them plastic plates and stuff. They don't allow you to have real silverware and stuff.
Yeah.
And when they say lights out, they mean lights out. And if they catch you with that phone, you go into the hole. So
how you know about all that, man? Come on.
Hey, Ron's got PTSD. Chill out, man. This ain't about you. Take it easy.
Okay. All right. Okay. I didn't take my medicine yet. So
sounds like he's speaking from experience.
Hey, man.
Right.
I catch the next chapter of my installment.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you all seen David's show?
I'm sorry?
Have you all seen David's show?
Unfortunately, I have.
Yeah.
Oh. He's kind of different.
Very. Oh, yeah. Very different.
Very different.
Francisco, have you seen it?
I have not.
Oh, you should.
Yeah.
And you all should have a show about his show. It's very interesting. It really is.
It's very different. He's got his own.
You're not doing a good job selling it so far.
I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, I really don't. It's just something you have to experience for yourself. It's not a lukewarm endorsement at all. I've never seen anything like it.
That could have fooled me.
Yeah. I've been knowing David for over 10 years. So, I actually when he called me up out the clear blue sky, looking for someone to help him, I was trying to find someone that wouldn't hang up the phone on him. So I called Lee.
Call Mr. Nice Guy, right? Mr. Wonderful.
So, and Lee been stuck with him ever since. He ain't called me back no more. So I thank God.
Between you and David, my phone is on fire.
But see, I call on bullshit. He calls for real.
Terrible.
Yeah, leave David alone. He's a good cat. He's just a little misdirected.
Man.
He's
wow.
believes in a little bit of a conspiracy and stuff like. But he does an interesting show. He'll get your blood pressure up at least.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He drives Laura crazy.
I think I've watched 2 shows, not fully, but probably by the time I've watched 2 of his shows, I've watched a fourth of one show. But
right,
yeah,
he's high concentration of what he believes in. Very high concentrated.
Yeah,
I mean, decent person. But his background, he brings forth what he 100% believes in. He actually believes what he says, and he goes hard at it.
Right.
So
goes hard at it is the stripper that I knew in Fresno.
I knew it was time for another stripper name. I'm gonna say he's been to every stripper in New Jersey.
And New York.
And New York. And
he ain't started
Baltimore.
with New York names yet. He haven't mentioned not one Buffy or Candy or any of those names yet.
Buffy?
So when he
what part of New York were you in?
No, that's Connecticut. That's Connecticut.
Yeah.
Ah,
yeah, you're confusing me with Fiona right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes. Well, hopefully some more folks will drop in and say some unkind things or kind things, whichever their preference would be. Did anybody else have an opportunity to reach out to anybody else?
No, but I was thinking about what you were talking about, Ron. You could do a show about being in prison during the pandemic and call it Lockdown in Lockdown.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Lockdown and lockdown. Going deep.
I am happy to bring the proceeding to a screeching halt once in a while.
Yeah. No, I'm responding, to a text I just got. So hopefully,
now take your time. We're just doing a show on air. Don't let us bother.
Yeah. Hopefully,
oh Lord.
Hopefully the person will respond expeditiously. Well, I might as well let the cat out the bag. I sent the link to Damon Williams, and he's actually in Mexico right now. In a villa. So he was supposed to chime in, and he just texted me a little while ago talking about what show. So I'm like,
is the donkey show starting early?
I'm like, God damn it, look on your phone, motherfucker.
Well, he's in Mexico. The last thing on his mind is being on a show to wish anybody a happy birthday. He's down there. Is he in Tijuana or what part of Mexico?
No. He's Cabo. He's in Cabo. Yeah.
Cabo. Okay.
Yeah. He's in
Tijuana.
Cabo. Yeah. So he was down there. I used
to go with Tijuana.
You used to what in Tijuana?
I used to go with her.
Oh, okay. All right.
We got another old friend of mine here. Mike Love from St. Louis, Missouri.
It's me, Lee Baby.
See, they don't know nothing about that guy.
No. I'm the quiet storm.
Yep. He goes back to 1973 when I first got to St. Louis.
Yeah.
And I was the air pollution on KATZ.
Music 16 KATZ.
Yeah, you got to say it right.
You got to say it right. You got to deliver them call letters, man.
Now, Mike, how old were you when you first heard me?
Well, probably about 14, somewhere, 13, 14, something like that.
Yep. So, I'm the cause of his brain damage. So
all the way, man. I'm sick. Okay, I'm sick. They named a disease after you. You got the Lee Michaels. And I was like, what? Yeah, you got the Lee Michaels. Yeah, you're the poor thing. You're sick. You're sick.
Yeah, he's an incredible broadcaster. He has followed my path in a lot of different markets that I've worked in, including New York and St. Louis. Where else have you've worked behind?
Let's see. Well, you came behind me in New York.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But
yeah.
I mean, I grew up listening
radio,
to you. I tell people this story how I used to get in trouble because I would sit out and listen to Lee, and I would leave the car. Remember, the ignition, you could put it in accessory.
Right.
And I would forget to turn it off. So the next morning, my mom would get ready to go to work, and the car would start. The battery was
dead,
run down.
Yeah.
And then I lied. Then you made me lie to my mother.
I made you lie. No,
you made me lie to my mother. I mean, you're like my ultimate radio hero. I know I want to be in broadcasting now, so I got a learner's permit, which says that you can't drive without another person with a license in the car. And so H Salt Fish and Chip had just been open in East St. Louis. And I said, Ma, I know you want some of that fish, right? She was like, well, I'm thinking about, but baby, I don't feel like driving over there right now. And I said, Mama, I'll go. I promise I'll be careful. And after about 30 minutes, I convinced her. I drive over there and I walk in, and it's this dude like 6 feet tall. He's got the Silvers Jackson afro, and he's got white dudes around him giving him the signals and telling him when to talk. And I fainted I was like, ah!
He was destroyed from that moment on. He had to be in radio.
That moment on.
Yeah,
it was incredible. I mean,
it's funny because I remember that day very clearly. My engineer, producer, Brother Louis, who happened to have been a white guy with long hair, looking like a hippie.
Yeah,
and we're broadcasting live from H Salt Fish and Chips in East St. Louis.
Yeah, they had never had one before. All we had was like barbecue joints. Well, they call them barbecue stands because you couldn't go sit. This wasn't like going to like Fridays or Ruby Tuesday. You had to go up and, you get your food. All the barbecues always wrapped in wax paper and whatever the local newspaper is. So actually you could like read the newspaper and eat at the same time,
Right.
And it was crazy, but we started getting, we had a McDonald's, we had Burger Chef, stuff like that. But, H Salt coming in was a whole new thing. And you guys had come in and it was fascinating for me. Yeah. You were my hero and I just, and you still are, and I love
you're my hero now because you're very successful in your journey of being in broadcasting. You've done some incredible things and worked with some great talent, Doug Banks, and what's that other guy's name that was syndicated?
Rick Roberts. Oh, well, you guys talking about Frankie. Frankie was my boss at BLS.
That's right. Yeah.
And that was like a very high task to take on. You couldn't go. Now, I'm the program director of the radio station. He's the VP of programming. But you couldn't tell Frankie what to do. That just wasn't happening.
Right.
Von Harper was another head case.
Mm-hmm.
A great guy. We had the log. He never followed the log. Von would bring in 3 of those big CD cases that carried at least 300 or 400 CDs in broad. He never followed the log.
Mm-hmm.
There was a club in New York called Sweetwater's. And that's where Frankie would go and hang out. And he met Von. Von was the MC. And that's how he got the job at WBLS during the Quiet Storm.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, can I ask you a quick question? What year did you start at BLS?
In 1990. I was at KISS FM in New York from 88 to 90. I was at Power 99 in Philadelphia from 86 to 88.
So it's possible that you knew Francesca Spiro from the sales department?
It's possible. He looks familiar, a little gray here and there, but yeah, I think I know that.
No, Francesca Spiro.
Francesca Spiro. Seriously,
it might have been her last year there. I don't know if you were there.
Was she at BLS?
Yeah. She was in the sales department. She also ran shows out of the Apollo, but.
Was she there?
I worked with Gary Flowers at the Apollo. As a matter of fact, I would help her book the acts and that kind of stuff. Whatever we were charting, she would call and we'd meet every Friday and decide, who they were going to invite in for guests and stuff like that.
Francesca,
so
I think she might have left. She might have left either right before 1990 or right in the beginning of 1990.
Yeah, it could have been. That name sounds familiar, though. Absolutely. But you guys are a rough crowd. I was watching and trying to watch the NBA game, and I was cracking up. Al's going in on you, Ron's going in on you, and I'm like, "What?" That's Laura came in, and then they went in on her for a minute. And,
always,
I was like, "Ooh, that's a rough crowd, right?"
Well, look, man, your story beat out Al's story, man, because you fell out. Al almost got peed on. So hell, that's
Nah, Al Greer is all right, man. He's all right. Man. He's a good guy.
You got to forgive Ron. He's on work release.
Yeah, really.
When Al sends you messages, I think Al sent me a couple of like messages and Messenger or something. He's like a mob figure. He'll send you something. It's like you're like, did he just say that to me? I'm gonna need you to call me. Okay, all right. Like I owe you money or something, or no? But Al's a good guy, man. Hey,
he is. He does have his own little style.
He's got his own.
He's kind of like a Jerry Bledsoe.
Oh my God!
Did you work with Jerry?
I didn't work with Jerry, but Jerry, in Apollo, and the stories that they would tell, man, it was just like
he was incredible. A piece of work.
Piece of work, man. Piece of work. I mean, what about now? What was that? What was it? Budweiser? Which beer did he do?
Budweiser.
Budweiser. I mean, he turned that out.
Yeah,
he turned it out, man.
He sure did. He was the
they
voice
should have
of
paid
Budweiser.
him a whole lot of money because he turned it out. He really, really did.
Yeah,
he really
the
did.
Man.
But man, you got to tell him. I mean, you talked briefly about Doug Eason. Doug Eason was a mess. So I'm in college. I'm at Sangamon State University, right? I'm getting ready to graduate, and I meet Gary Starr. I don't know what they were doing. Him and Doug had gone to Chicago, and they were driving back. And I was working at a pop station, Music 104 WDBR. And so they get to me and tell me they're interested in me coming to KTZ. And Tony Gray was already working there. He had just graduated from Illinois State. And they tell me they're going to pay me $250 a week. And I get my first check, and it was like $150.
Yeah, that was that. You $250. I was making $220. So you got a raise.
Now they said I was going to make $250. they said that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was crazy. But I mean. And then he got upset with me because what was the guy's name that was his engineer? Art?
Yeah.
Yeah, Art. So I'm doing overnights, right? So as it's come, I think they came on at like 5 or 5:30. So I come in and, I mean, I'm already working. And so now I'm letting Art on my show. Doug was not having it. He came to me, he says like, Art is not a part of your show. And please do not mention his name while you're on the air if you want to continue to be on the air at KTC. I said, okay. I stopped.
No problem.
Immediately. I did tell Art he got me in trouble. He just laughed. He did white boy chuckle.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an interesting crew there at Cats. It was the first station I worked at that had engineers or board ops running the board. God. And it was unionized and you couldn't touch the equipment.
But it was incredible to watch, guys. If you've never seen that presentation, it's enough to thank God that Laura's here, so I can't say what I want to say, but it would get you excited, And you see these guys, and they're holding 45s, and they had like a record player in the room, so they could go and listen, to see what the intro was going to be. But basically, it was almost like you're emceeing a show, but you're talking up a record. And it was that man
it was electric.
Like crazy.
Yeah, it was.
That was crazy.
They to the point of they turn your mic on and off, and you would give them the hand signal to turn it on, and you do this to turn it off, and they would mix your voice into the music, and they play the commercials. I mean, that's all you did. You
just stood in front of a microphone.
Yeah.
I mean,
and they were in one room. There was a glass window, and when I first got there, you didn't even have a countdown clock to tell you what the intro time was, nor did you even have a VU meter to see if you were too loud or not loud enough. All of that was on the other side of the window.
Wow.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw it several times. I interned under Harry Lyles. And so once again, and then Harry used to get on me because I would do the stare, you just stare in that glass and you just watching the guy getting ready to go on the air. And I mean, it got your heart beating. I mean, just to see that. So by the time I got there, then, we were running our own boards and playing cards and that kind of stuff. But you guys had it made, man. That was
sweet.
Phenomenal.
It was real cool. Yeah. And the changeover from one shift to the other. Like I said, when I was in Virginia, you ran your own board.
Yeah.
When I came there, I went, damn, this is the big time. These, wow, this is the way the big boys roll. I mean, stations like WABC in New York and WLS, which are big top 40 stations owned by ABC.
Yeah.
That's the way they had it set up. And, to work at a Black-oriented station in 1973 with a engineer, board op, that runs all of the technical stuff was like, damn, this is special.
It was phenomenal. And I'm going to tell you, in Chicago, I never really saw the engineers run the board in St. Louis. But I went to a 2-year college before I went to Saginaw State, Lincoln College, and we went to Loyola University to a radio seminar, convention, whatever it was. And they took us down to the world's largest building, which was where WLS was located.
Yeah.
And you walk in and Paul Harvey's studio was on the left and WLS was on the right. They had a phone bank and it must have had at least 100 buttons on it and it was just flashing. And then you get in and I can't remember, I think Jeff Beck or somebody was on when we got in there. And watching the engineer it was like they had 3 hands. They were just moving constantly. WLS, music service. I mean, it was just going like at rapid fire.
There's no automation. Everything was hit manually, and they were precise every time.
Yeah.
And the second time I had an engineer like that was in New York at 99X.
Okay.
And which was converted to KISS FM over the years. But that was another head trip because, again, it was unionized. You were in one union and the engineers was in a different union and you couldn't touch anything. The only thing you had there in New York was a headphone volume. You could turn your mic on and off. You had a little console there. You could turn your own mic on.
Okay.
And you had a receiver, actually, a FM receiver you plugged your headphones into.
Wow.
And that phone bank that you were talking about, it was 100 lines over on my left-hand side, and those things were lit up
when I'm flashing, just like...
all the time.
Like they were calling the police on somebody or something.
Exactly.
It was crazy.
I used to have this little bit, I used to call it the musical orgy. And I would just go over to the board and push down 2 handfuls of those buttons at the same time. And all I would say was 99X and just sit back and they just start talking to each other.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your name? Carolyn. Carolyn, where are you? I'm in Brooklyn. Where are you? And then it's like 16 different conversations, guys trying to pick up girls and girls being funny. And then I would let that roll for like a minute and a half. And then I go into a jingle and into a song. And so another musical orgy coming up next hour. Stand by.
But think about this for a minute. It was the original social media.
Yeah. Oh, it was.
Because people would call. You would get some people the same people would call the request line every day. You get on the air. Hey, Mike, how are you? What's going on? It's Cindy. Do you have anything else to do?
No.
They're there every day.
Every day. Yep.
But y'all remember back in the day, that's how they used to break a new song.
Oh, yeah.
They would call in constantly every day, 2, 3, 4 o'clock. They would have different people call in, and then they would request that song to be played. And that song was originally how they used to break songs, especially when you had cheap people that didn't want to grease the hands of the DJ. I said it out loud. I said it out loud. Yeah.
Oh my God. They was working the PD,
Yeah.
They was working the PD. They knew where the real power was.
Yeah, that was before
what you talking about, Ron?
Yeah, Ron, what you talking about, man?
Hey, man, I think the statute of limitations ran out on some of y'all.
Oh, it's over. It's over.
Yeah, that was before my time. That was back in the E. Rodney Jones days. Rodney was an incredible radio guy.
It's funny you said that. He left Chicago and went to Little Rock.
That's right.
And he was on KAAY. And just to hear him again, was because you had like KAAY, you had WLS, you only had ABC in New York, which could be heard in all these radio stations could be heard across the country. Yeah. And they were all pop stations, 24 hours a day. Yep. And it was phenomenal to hear him on this radio station outside of Chicago.
Right.
And I'm telling you, it was to listen to the radio as a kid and just dreaming about, could I be that person?
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was. And the thought or the dream or the idea of one day possibly working at one of those stations, it was like a mystical idea.
Yeah.
And then when I got to Chicago, and I met a Larry Lujak.
Oh my God.
What was it? Fred Winston. Those names. I'm going, damn. You know, these guys were like huge. I grew up listening to these guys. So,
and what about the young lady that did overnight on WLS?
Yvonne Daniels.
Yvonne Daniels.
That's right, Yvonne Daniels.
Yvonne Daniels.
And I worked with her at GCI. She did middays, and I was her PD.
You know, there was a. Let me tell you this, really, and I didn't mean to interrupt. There was a radio station that was on in East St. Louis that she was actually on before she went to WLS.
Right. Was that the jazz station?
I don't know if it was a jazz station. It was like in this. It was a building in downtown East St. Louis, and I found this out like years ago. And it was a hotel, and the radio station was on the top floor of the hotel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rick Roberts or Leroy Thurman.
JoJo.
JoJo. He has as many names as I did. We called Yvonne Daniels up one night, and you know, we were like big fans. And, you know, we got her on the request line. So, you know, we say, hey, Yvonne, my name is Lee Michaels, and, you know, I'm DJ down here in St. Louis, and we listen to you every day. And she said, yeah, what do you want to hear? Damn. She was cold,
man. What do you want?
Right. Said, okay, we'll see if we can get it on. Boom, she's gone.
Oh, yeah.
So when I get to work with her years and years later, obviously she probably hung up on 20,000 people before, so she didn't remember, of course. I said, but, you know, we were big, huge fans, but then after you hung up on us and give us no love.
And she still wasn't impressed.
No.
Yeah,
well, you know, you shouldn't have been on the request line. Well, how else am I going to get to you? Oh, God. Yeah, but she was an interesting character.
Radio was a high.
Yeah, it was.
You know, when you really, really think about it, radio was a high to see. You know what's really crazy now? Right before the pandemic came in, to do a remote from like a car dealership or a place like that. I'm not going to name the big company that has this heart-shaped logo. They have all of their. You didn't know what I'm talking about. Before you go to a remote, right, and then it's got like a lowercase like I or something from. You record your breaks before you go out.
That's right.
And I thought that was really crazy. Remember, you go to like a live remote and you're there and everybody sees you, you know, you're broadcasting live.
Yeah.
Now you go in the studio, you cut all your breaks and you just go out with the band. No Marty shot.
No,
none of that kind of stuff anymore. No. I mean, they took all the flavor out of it.
No, for real. I did a live broadcast in St. Louis at Hubler Pontiac.
Yeah.
We sold 35 cars in one day.
Wow.
The owner of the place was so impressed, he gave me a car. Gave me a brand new car. Yeah, he said, man, we've never sold 35 cars in one day. And I want you here every Saturday. And we did that. You know, that was like job security.
Yeah,
we got
Damon, that's crazy. He
Damon
gave
Williams.
you a car?
Damon
Williams.
Was it like brand new?
Brand new. He says, go out there and pick out any car you want. And I bought a triple black Grand Prix, brand new, 1973.
Wow.
Sure did. Said, it's yours. Sign this paper here, and we changed the title over.
You had to come every Saturday for 20 years to pay off that car.
Hey, he didn't care. He sell 35 cars in one day. You rock it. Oh, no, hell no. I'd do it again today.
Yeah, look. Speaking of Damon Williams, we got a Damon Williams on the line all the way from Cabo. What's up, bro?
Yeah, it's very loud. I tried to find a place to get quiet. Just wanted to come on and say, what's up, bro? Happy birthday, Les.
Thank you. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm actually hanging out with Tom Joyner right now.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
And Cabo, he brought us all over here, but he's out in the concert, so it's too loud.
Yes, sir. Well, tell Tom I said hello. And the next time, and I'm in Vegas, and you know, we talked about doing some stuff here in Vegas. So hit me up. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, tell Tom Mike Love said hello.
I would tell that to from everybody, man. Yeah, I know everybody loves him. Myra J is out here too. And I'll give him your messages, guys.
Please do.
All right. Happy birthday, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Later.
God bless.
Wow, that was an extreme close-up of his ear.
It was.
It reminds me that my girlfriend has to go to the gynecologist tomorrow. Hi,
Francisco will be here all week. He got them all, Jay.
Don't forget to tip your waiter.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Well,
we
he
could
got
see
off-
his brains. It was so close, right to his ear.
It's a
got
good
off
thing
the
he
hook.
wasn't really like older, where he had that old gray hair. You know, like
Hey, man, take it easy, Mike.
Well, hey, I got it too, man. I just shave it off so you don't see it. That's it.
Yeah.
Right?
Look, he got off the hook, so now we'll not be talking about him when he come back to Chicago. He showed up.
Right, exactly.
Wow.
Yep. Wow.
And happy
Yeah.
birthday, Lee. I didn't know today was your birthday. I'm sorry. Happy birthday.
Actually, it's tomorrow, so you can call tomorrow again.
Okay. Wow.
But we won't be here.
Yeah, I'm glad you made that clear, Ron.
Yeah. I want to let him know I'm not calling him again until next year.
That's right.
Okay.
That's cool.
Next week Thursday. All right.
That's cool. I'll take it. Listen,
Incredible.
but yeah, this is fun. This is big fun. And we got the guy that I was talking about that saved my life in St. Louis in 1973. Chef Lewis. What's up, buddy?
How you doing there, Lee?
I'm hanging in there. I'm still rocking, jocking, and finger popping.
Woo!
Well,
How you doing?
I'm doing fine, brother. Just want to wish you a happy birthday, and God bless you, my friend. And
Thank you.
I listen
Thank
to the
you.
show. I listen to the show every day. I mean, on every Thursday. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I really enjoy you guys. I have a bunch of good topics and stuff.
That's right. Now, are you at work now or at home?
No, I'm at home.
Okay. So you're afraid of getting COVID at home?
No, I just wear my mask.
I hear you. I ain't mad at you.
Distancing himself from himself.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, everybody does foreplay differently. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's it. You hit it today.
I always keep a mask nearby as well.
But guys,
that actually didn't look like a mask, though,
Or
that
two.
you just pulled up. That almost looked like a lady's girdle or something. What is that?
That's some panties.
Oh, okay.
Oh, damn.
It is his birthday. He gets to wear whatever underwear he wants to wear. Go ahead on, Lee.
Hey, Chris, thank you for sending me the link. And one other thing about Lee, too, because when Lee stayed with me in St. Louis briefly, and when I moved to L.A., he was at K-Day out there, 1580 K-Day, and he stayed out there with me for, I guess, about a month or so until he got on his feet out there. So
That's right.
We go back a very long ways.
Yep.
Very long
1973 is when we first met.
Yep.
Isn't that
Amen.
phenomenal how you had stations that you couldn't say just the call letters without the dial position?
Yeah.
Like 1580 K-Day. That's everybody. If you knew it was 1580 K-Day. Period.
Yep. I just talked to Jim Maddox a couple of days ago. He was my boss, program director there at K-Day back in the 70s.
Yeah, he's my boss at Amateur Group. You know, and
right.
have you ever been in a meeting with him?
Oh, of course.
Oh my God. I mean, he's like, what's that course that you take where you learn how to talk to people? Like, I forgot the name of it, but I mean, he could put you to sleep. He could put you to sleep at a jock meeting. Seriously.
Yeah, he had a different rhythm.
Yeah, he
Maddox
definitely
he had his own kind of rhythm. I'll put it that way. Yeah, he was very different. Yeah, I had the pleasure of working with him.
He was a good guy.
Oh yeah, great guy.
He was serious.
Yeah. He would come up and say, he had this little thing. He used to, look here, young blood. That was a pretty good show you did, but it could have been a little better.
There he goes.
Let's talk about that. And then I said, oh shit, I'm getting ready to get reamed out now. Oh my God. So, but he had that authoritative attitude that everybody respected. You didn't challenge what he was saying. He was like the maestro and commanded that respect.
Yeah.
But I had the pleasure of working with him.
What's the name of that public speaking course that everybody takes? You go and they'll throw stuff at you if you don't.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
See, we're all too old to be on the air.
Yeah, that's true.
Can't remember shit.
What was the name of that song?
But that's how he was in a meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would just be, and you're like, hurry up, man. Get to the point.
Yeah, he was very methodical.
Toastmasters.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, he should have been like the chief operating officer.
Yeah. Deep thinker.
Yeah.
Still is. He's a couple of years older than me.
Oh wow.
And yeah, we just talked a few days ago. And we talk from time to time. But
have you ever thought about growing your fro out again, Lee? I'm just asking. I mean, I'm just, for a friend.
That was very cold.
I'm just asking for a friend. That's all. I mean,
no, some thoughts you just have to let go because it's freaking possible.
It was like gas. I couldn't hold it. It was like gas.
No,
you ever had gas and you can't hold it, and then you like let it creep out on its own. That's what happened.
Yeah, that was a slow gas.
Wait a minute. Wait. That was the sound of gas creeping out, Lee.
I mean, when you saw the Jacksons fro, when you saw the Silvers fro, Lee Michaels and Harry Lyles had two of the biggest fros in the business. I mean, well manicured, like you had like Mexicans like in doing your hair and stuff. It was like it was landscaping.
Yeah. It took a while to get it straight, but yeah.
It was like
you're talking about his hair. I thought you said biggest hose.
I mean, it was big. I mean, it was.
Not hose, froze.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm good now.
Yeah. Those were the days, Mike. Those were the days. But now I got a lot less. I got, most people have a 4-head. I have like a 6-head now. It's like
you don't. No.
Yeah, I'm catching up with
everybody.
Yeah,
everybody.
You was getting ready to say John.
Everybody.
And then you thought about all the times that you was homeless and he let you stay.
So
you took a hard left.
Take it easy here because I might have to use them again.
Right, exactly. That's what you was like.
I'm still curious on why the hell John is scared he gonna give himself something. I'm like, what the hell is that about?
He's sending the message out.
John, you're making us feel insecure right now. I mean,
not at all.
There's another reason why, because I just had some dental work done too. So.
Okay. Good comeback. That was quick. Yeah, that was quick.
That was a good one. Yeah,
that was a big cover up. And you can't fight that.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds a hell of a lot better than you scared about giving yourself something. Okay?
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, that's notable. I mean, he came up with it quick too.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can't argue that. How could you argue? All you could say is, okay, well, pull down your mask and let us see.
No, please.
Yeah.
Hey, John, do you know Al Ramirez?
Do I know who?
Do I?
Al Ramirez.
Do I know?
Yes, I do.
No, John. I was asking John.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I do.
I saw a photo of him about a week or so. I know. I'm not sure if it's on Facebook. He looks very good. He looks very good. I know he had some issues, but if you see him, tell him Mike Love said hello.
Okay, I sure will.
Yeah.
I want to jump in and say this about. I want to jump in and say this about Lee when he first came to LA. And who was the afternoon drive guy named Lee?
At K-Day?
Doing 2 to 6.
See, I was there two different times, so I'm trying to remember.
The first time you came.
Was it Jack Patterson?
I can't remember the guy's name, but I know he was on vacation I think putting him on vacation was for 2 weeks, because I think you went there, you're doing nights. And and they put you on 2 to 6, and the guy came back off vacation early because he thought he was going to lose his position.
Because I was burning that microphone up. What? That was at K-Day or KDIA? Was that in San Francisco or L.A.?
L.A. K-Day.
Okay, that was his name will come to me in a second. He died. He left radio, went into the police business. He became a cop, which blew everybody away because he was kind of a party animal. And for him to end up being a cop was like, huh? What? But yeah, I think he died from cancer. But another situation up in San Francisco at KDIA, there was a guy that was doing the show up there, and I inherited that show. I left New York to go to San Francisco, and he was involved in a car accident. And they didn't think he was going to make it. So they hired me, but he got better, and he had to give him his job back. And there was a union kind of thing. Bob Jones, Skin and Bones, Bob Jones. And so that bumped me out of the afternoon drive slot, and that ended up being weekends. And so, yeah, that happens in radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens. It happened to me twice.
What was the other station that you were on in San Francisco?
KBLX.
No, was it KBLX?
Yep. I was a PD at KMEL.
I remember. I think it was KMEL.
Yeah, KMEL. I was a PD over there, PD operations manager.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal. I like that presentation was actually your best to me in San Francisco.
Interesting. We made it #1 in one book.
I remember that. That.
Yeah. That was a fun slot. I came back to BMX after that. And, when I tell people that story, they go, wow, really? That's how it really happened. Yep, that's how it happened. But, I mean, I've had a wonderful life and career in the broadcast business. I've been blessed to work with so many incredible air personalities and management people in every format that you can think of. I was even the general manager of a Spanish-speaking station in Central California. Wow. And I had no idea what the hell they were saying on the radio.
Wow.
None, zero. I mean, my Spanish is very limited. I can order off of the menu, and I can get fresh with Hispanic girls. I can, como se llama mamacita? And I can get in trouble. That's about it.
Yeah, very impressive. Very impressive.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, so I ran that radio station and helped it make some more money. And I used to drive from LA to Central California. It was near Bakersfield. And, stay out there for 3 or 4 days out of the week and then go back to LA. But that was an experience. I did country, Spanish, news talk, R&B, progressive rock, top 40.
Wow.
And urban AC.
Like a utility guy.
Yeah. But, I think you need to do that to be a well-rounded broadcaster. You got to taste it all. And it's been a ride, man. A real nice ride.
You got to taste it all is another stripper name that I know from. No, sorry.
Real nice ride.
You've done them all. I'm digging on that fact you said as a broadcaster you had taste them all. Now see, I love that. So I'm gonna just leave that one right there.
Leave that one alone. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
No, but it's been an incredible experience, and excuse me, I wouldn't do it any other way. Even the mistakes I made, I would do those again. Because in the end, it turned out to be okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, Reggie.
I got 2 questions. Okay, the first question was the bug. How did you cure the bug? We all get all of us got bit by the bug, right? So what was your first reaction when you got, when you got bit by the bug? And then the second question is that interview that you all did with Bob Wall, Bobby OJ. I want to know the skinny on that, because it's still on YouTube.
Yeah, and that's not the full interview. That's like a 10 or 15-minute version of it.
Right.
That was Renee Ferguson, who was the host of that show. And she had all of us, Bob Wall, Doug Banks, Tom Joyner, Bobby OJ, and myself. We're all doing mornings and or afternoon. And it was like, it was a celebration. We were in competition with each other, but at the same time, we were all professionals and we had respect for each other. So it was kind of, it's like getting 5 or 6 comedians in a room. You cut up and act a damn fool and, have fun with it. And Bob Wall, he was easy to make fun of because he's sitting there with a baseball cap on with a pig nose and ears and flip-flops and a tuxedo. So, I mean, he was that kind of a character. He was really offbeat all the time. And then you had Bobby OJ, Bobby was kind of serious. And Tom, Doug, and myself was like Boo Boo the Fool and his 2 brothers. So we're clowning and having fun and, taking little light jabs at each other. But for the most part, it was a real fun thing. And it's the first time and the last time I think I was on TV with that caliber of professional radio people. And how did I get the bug? Pretty much like Mike. I was young, fascinated with first it was the technology, this little white plastic radio sitting on my mother's kitchen table over on the side of the workspace there. And it was AM radio only. And I was just fascinated about these voices and this music coming out of this little box. And I grew up in a radio television repair shop. So I understood a little bit of it. And then when I really understood the technical aspect of it, then I wanted to see what that other end looked like, that radio station. So I went down, they built a new studio in the downtown plaza in Norfolk, Virginia, WRAP, 850 on the dial. And there was this guy that did a morning show. And his name was Jack Holmes, Daddy Jack. And I saw this man in this window. It was an outside little plaza mall kind of thing. And I stood there and I saw this man dressed up in a suit with a cigar in the ashtray and a dress hat on, no headphones, and it was this big old RCA console with these big, huge knobs on it. And when he would go on the air to talk over a song, he would dip the song down and talk, but he had no reference as to where the level was of that song because they didn't have headphones on.
Oh, dang.
And so it was a hot mess, what it sounded like on the radio. And then he would read a live commercial with a cigar in the side of his mouth. It's Daddy Jack, and let me tell you right now, you got to go down to Sam's liquor store because they got the best booze in town. And I'm going, this guy's got a fucking cigar in his mouth, and he's doing a commercial. So I was just like blown away. And then these big old huge turntables, 2 turntables sitting over here on his right, and this big RCA DX 77. And I know, Reggie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He had one of those big old microphones, which I want to get, but I'm not going to spend $3,000 for one. It's an old ribbon mic, and that was like the classic mic back in those days. But to make a long story short, I was probably, that's when I got the first bug. And then I met a couple other radio personalities, King Hot Dog the Great, and Calvin Shakespeare Perkins, and Soul Ranger, and Bob Jackson. and Skip Scipio, and I mean, I was just like, wow. And then when I met Scotty Andrews, he was a part-time DJ at WHIH, still in the military. He was in the Navy. When he got out of the Navy, he ended up being the PD, program director. And he would allow me to come to WHIH and hang out. And, you know, being the gopher back in those days, you know, whatever they asked you to do, you had to go do. Say, you know, if my wife calls, tell her, you know, I'm in a meeting, or my girlfriend calls, tell her I'll call her back, and go pull the wire, the information off of the teletype, and make me a cup of coffee. So you did all of those things back in those days, and that's how you got your foot in the door. But I got my real. Say again.
I'm a witness to that too.
Yeah, yeah. And Donnie Brooks was a big personality there at KATZ in St. Louis, and I ended up replacing him. And so I knew his name from Virginia. I mean, he was like a national DJ name, Donnie Brooks, Soulfinger, he went by. And I went, wow, I'm going to be replacing Donnie Brooks. I'm like pissing in my pants. So that was a trip for me. You know, I was 23 years old going to St. Louis in 1973. So y'all do the math. I'm old as hell. Tomorrow will be 71.
Wow.
So it was a trip. And I knew I had to come in there blazing to follow up behind a guy like him. And then, you know, the personality, Johnny Jones was in front of me. He was a great personality.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. And then who was behind me? Johnny, John, do you remember? Because there were several people.
No, Robert BQ.
No, Robert wasn't there.
No, Robert did overnight.
Yeah. No, he was gone by the time I got there.
Okay.
BQ was gone. Doug wasn't on the air anymore.
No. Keith still on the air?
No, Keith. I think he came off the air. He was on for a minute, but it was Larry O.J.
Super Sugar Chris. That's who it was.
Chris Hall. Chris Hall.
Yeah.
Because he come down from Detroit, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep.
He was behind you?
Yeah, he came on after me, Chris Hall.
And then he became the PD after you left?
I don't think he ever became PD.
Super Sugar Chris. No, he wasn't no joke.
Yeah,
he was another cat that was blazing.
Yep, quick wit. Quick. I was kind of like the youngest guy on the staff. That's how I got the name Lee Baby Michaels. And
this is me, Lee Baby.
See, you bring back some real tripping times in my life, man, because I've forgotten about all that stuff.
I love that shit.
Yeah, I was wild, you know. I talked about people in the streets, you know, the community and stuff. I became a bit controversial. What was the guy's name? He was a black news writer at one of the black papers.
At the World?
I think it was the World.
Yeah.
Not Roland Martin, was it?
No. I don't think Roland was born. What was it?
And you got to tell them the World was a trip paper. Now this isn't your
wasn't another
daily
one called
news.
Yeah, right. Was it the August or was it one called the August? But anyway,
what's paper called the August? Yeah.
Yeah, this guy did the entertainment reporting, and he happened to have been gay. So I homed in on him because I knew he was popular in the streets, and then he would write about me. And so we had this little thing going back and forth, and then I finally met him and we became cool.
Oh, wow.
But you know, it was one of those things when I would pick certain things in the community and just like dig into it. What really blew me up there with all the kids was they had a career day thing at the Kiel Auditorium. I think it was an annual event. Every high school graduate was in the Kiel Auditorium for that day. And I went in there. I've maybe been in town for couple of weeks. And I shook the hands and introduced myself to every kid, black or white, in St. Louis that was graduating from high school. So the next day, I was the hottest teen DJ in town because they met this Lee Baby Michaels guy. And I had white kids. And I also had the freedom. Keith was he came from the top 40 station in Louisville as well. So he allowed me to play some Grand Funk Railroad and some Benny and the Jets and stuff like that. And so I integrated that into the hot R&B stuff, and I was taking numbers from the top 40 station. What was it, Super Q?
KSLQ.
KSLQ. I was taking numbers from them. So as a result of my popularity and success there in St. Louis, I left there, went to Atlanta, Georgia to be a regional promotion manager for Mercury Records. I was there for 6 months. The guy that was the PD at KSLQ went to New York to 99X. He found my number in Atlanta, called me up and offered me a job, and I was hating doing records. So he hired me to come to New York City, and that's how I got to. He says, look, man, can you do what you did in St. Louis in New York? I said, hell yeah, I can do it. And no problem. He goes, come up and I want you to meet the GM. And I went up there and did that, and I got hired. So I beat the guy that ended up hiring me in St. Louis. He ended up being in New York. Al Casey was his name.
Oh, wow. Al Casey?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Al left, and then Lee Douglas became the PD.
Yeah.
And it was that my ride was, it's a story in itself. You know, the things that I experienced and the people I've worked with and the competition and the era. I mean, I came in at the right time. And it was a transition of going from old school R&B radio with my top 40 background. And I was allowed to bring that style and that craziness and upbeat, quick pace into R&B radio. And it was perfect timing. Perfect timing.
So let me ask you a question. In hindsight, looking back over what you did in Chicago with the house music, would you have been able to start that at any of the other cities that you were in during your, runs in different places?
Well, funny that you brought that up. House music originated in Chicago, and it got its debut on WBMX. It was happening in some of the local clubs and all of that. But if I had done house music in any other city in America, probably not. But by time we had success with it there, and then over at GCI, then I went to KMEL, and that was a top 40 station, and I integrated mixes on that station out there, and the rest is history. That station became number one in 4 months. And so timing, again, has a lot to do with what you do and when you do it. By then, that dance house music stuff was hot everywhere. New York, San Francisco, was the next blowout for mixes on the radio. Now, nobody in San Francisco was doing mixes, not even KSOL, the R&B station. Nobody. So when I introduced that, it was something different.
So historically speaking, I hear a lot of people in Chicago say that house music replaced disco. So would you say that was fair evaluation, pretty much? Because he came in right after, what was that boy that killed disco in Wrigley Field or whatever?
Steve Dahl.
Yeah, Steve Dahl. Yeah, he killed it. They had 1 year where disco was part of the Grammys, and then after that, it disappeared. And so they said historically that house music was the same thing, the same type of mixes, long plays, things of that nature. that came in. So, would you say it was good?
I would say that it was a transitional music style that took the advantage of the popularity of the disco music, and people, like to dance. Mm-hmm. So house music was danceable, and at that time in 81, it was still kind of raw. Mm-hmm. But it evolved, over 3 or 4 years and became a little more sophisticated. But the reality was, when I put the mixers on in 1981 at WBMX, it was not all house music. It was a lot of dance music, and it was even some pop music that we integrated in there. If it was upbeat and you could mix it, then it was played. But the culture, the community, the house music DJs in town kind of grabbed the idea, the sound, and kept it going even after it had died off a little bit on the radio on BMX and GCI. So it kind of got branded as house music on BMX, but the real truth was it was not all house music. I did give the DJs the freedom to play music that was hot in the clubs. That's why I put them on. And I handpicked 5. It was actually 6. It was going to be the Hot Mix 6 originally. But one guy didn't show up. Jeff Davis, I think it was his name. He didn't show up. So it became the Hot Mix 5. But I strategically, geographically picked 6 different people from different parts of the metro. So in their clubs, in the all-white clubs, the Hispanic clubs, the black clubs, the house clubs, it was all integrated together. And that was what I was after, to get that mix of what was happening in Chicagoland on WBMX. And with a bit of timing and luck, it was huge.
So were you able
follow-up
to
question?
Go ahead.
Okay. Lee, do you know how much restraint it took for me not to say something about 10 or 15 minutes ago when you said big, huge knobs? I'm too classy. I did not make a stripper name out of that. And I want credit for my restraint.
I appreciate that.
Laura's like, you guys, stop.
It shows maturity and restraint on your behalf.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I was surprised that somebody didn't say something.
But okay, I'm gonna tell the truth. I thought the same thing. I mean, but see, I'm looking at Laura over here to my like, am I right? And I'm like, I'm not saying nothing, okay? Because like this is like secret squares. If she was up on the upper squares, then I would probably say it. But she's like right next to me.
Let me tell you something, Mike. If the squares were bigger, you would have said something a long time ago. But that's
You're
all
probably right. Absolutely.
I grew up with brothers. I'm used to it. I was like, whatever.
Right.
Have I mentioned that I'm going to be in Chicago in August, Laura?
You did.
Yeah, you did.
So twice now.
But wait a minute. What was it again?
Something about big nipples and knockers or something.
No, it wasn't nipples and knockers. I said the guy was sitting in front of the RCA console. It was mono, by the way, and it had these big, huge black knobs. And
oh yeah, I got you.
See, if you'd have just said knobs, it may have got. You said big, huge black knobs. I mean, you got too descriptive, Lee. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I did. I went all in.
Yeah, you went all in.
Yeah, because you described the inner and the outer.
Exactly, and then you was doing like this, you know.
Yeah. Hand jive.
And so so that was a tuning. That was like a tuning.
Yeah, you was like
Yeah, he was hot potting.
So back to the not so interesting subject.
And Laura's gone. I mean, that was
still here.
There she is. Okay, I was going to say she's doing
she's doing a broad justice right now.
Wait a minute. What did I miss?
Something about nipples and knobs. That's all I can tell you.
Oh, that's what I missed. Okay.
Don't rely on Ron's recollection for anything.
No, it's going to be twisted.
So
there you go again.
Do you think, looking back through the scope of time, that you could have created that same type of Hot Mix 5 chemistry with somewhere in St. Louis, LA, New York, or some of these other places? Do you think that would have been, I know you said it was timing and everything like that, but knowing how successful that was in hindsight, do you think that it would have jumped somewhere else?
Yes, I think the concept would be successful anywhere, but the music composition, the combination of songs that you put together, should reflect in that local area. So if I was doing something in Atlanta, Georgia, I don't know that I would be playing house music.
That's right.
But I would probably be playing something more funky, backbeat, downbeat. And in DC, you'd have to do some go-go. You'd have to do some go-go. In New York, you got to have some disco. In Philadelphia, you got to have some disco. San Francisco, some disco. LA, you could probably need to have some R&B, disco, and a little Hispanic spin to it. So when I look at the different regions, you gotta reflect the people that you're broadcasting to, and respect that.
This is how legends are made.
But you if you travel around in the business and you go in with an open mind and really absorb that local area, then you'll be successful. If you come in there with an ego and arrogance and say, I'm going to do what I did in Philadelphia, in San Francisco, you're going to die. Period. You know, when I first went to San Francisco, the first time I worked there, KDIA, I was on the radio and I thought I was hip and I was, rocking it and everything. And I said, I'm going to be hanging out in Frisco tonight and da-da-da-da-da-da, right? This lady called me up and she goes, obviously you're new in town. I go, yeah. I said, why do you say that? She goes, nobody from San Francisco calls it Frisco. Only tourists and people from out of town. I'm like, oh, okay. So what can I call it? San Francisco or the city? Period. I said, okay, well, thank you for the heads up and everything. And she says, and I know you've only been here for a couple of weeks, and I want to invite you out so I can introduce you to some people. So that you're not, making a fool of yourself on the radio. I went, damn. So at that point, I had hook in mouth, and I said, okay, well, thank you for the invitation. So she invited me out to this club, and I met her, and then she introduced me to some of her other girlfriends. And as it turns out, she was like a madam. She was like the hookup mama.
All right. Then.
So then she invited me to her condo that was up on the high floor looking out over San Francisco. Badass pad.
You was about to get hooked up.
Not a baby grand, but a full grand, piano, white, and the works. So I go up there to this party, not knowing what kind of party it was going to turn out to be, but I was the special guest, and she had 10 or 11 of the finest women I've ever seen in my life.
Ever.
Of all time. In skimpy clothes. So that was how she introduced me to the Bay Area. Now.
Now, what birthday was that?
No, I think it was in the summertime. It was after my 25th birthday.
Oh, okay.
25. So she at that time the ratio of male to female in San Francisco was 9 women to every man.
Wow.
So it was like rough times, man. But there was a couple of guys a little short because I had about 30 of them. I was busy. I was messing up names and timing and everything. But no, but see, that's a part of life, man. You just don't know where it's going to take you.
Yeah, and you're right. Messing up names will take you a lot of places, bro.
Yeah. I was calling Shirley, and the name was something else, and it was rough. But yeah, I mean,
dirty.
San Francisco is quite a town.
Our Michael Douglas says, player.
Yeah, live in 25.
Oh man.
But wait a minute, she was a madam. Were you paying? Were you busy and broke, or?
No, she was just wanting to introduce. She said, you can pick out whoever you want. You can have them.
Wow.
Really?
Dirty that night.
I said, no, I don't want them. I want you.
Yeah.
And she was fine too. Yeah. But we became really good friends, and she wanted me to introduce her to a lot of the entertainment people, because obviously, but the business that she was in,
they had the cash to carry.
Exactly.
Exactly. Oh
that's
my goodness.
That's what you call networking in the game. Shut up.
That's
Melvin.
right.
That's what you call networking.
Oh Lord, get Melvin. Yeah. So that's a true story.
And the madam's name was Caitlyn Jenner.
No, I don't think so.
Look, pre or post surgery?
That's none of my business.
I'm telling you.
This is Lee's story. I don't want to ruin it.
I know that's right.
I'm telling you more stories tonight. That's it. Y'all got.
All right, so Lee. All right, since we're celebrating your birthday, what would you say was the greatest birthday moment that you can remember? Because I know you're old and you can't remember everything.
Aside from having Chocolate Yoda as a co-host, go ahead.
You go.
Right, go ahead, Lee. It's fine. I don't want to interrupt.
The greatest birthday
moment.
Probably
we only got 3 hours, so don't take too long.
Probably when I was doing my show from home, when I was living in Bolingbrook, and it was the Buh and Cub, Banks and Company, and I was in the process of weaning myself off of the show, and I had a den, and that room had a window to the front of the house, so I was facing the window with my microphone, and it's like 7:30 in the morning, and Doug had hooked this lady up to come to my house and as a surprise to me, because right there at the driveway, right? So she comes up on a horse. And a trench coat and nothing on underneath.
Yeah, now that's a surprise.
So no, but what makes this really crazy? Right. So he timed it so that we were in a talk break, and he had asked me a question, and right about that time, she's riding up on this horse. I'm like, what the hell? Who is this woman on a horse in a trench coat? And then she opened the trench coat up, and she's butt naked, right? I'm like, Doug, you won't believe what I'm seeing right now. He goes, whoa, what do you see? What's going on? And I described what I was looking at. And then as I'm describing that, my mom comes from upstairs because her room was facing there.
Boy, what you got going on?
She said, boy, what is that woman doing out there in your yard? I said, I have no idea, Mama. I think it's like a birthday joke or something. And so now keep in mind, my birthday is May 28th. Doug is born in June 9th. So no matter what he did as a spoof on me, I always had a few days to do something more intense on him. So we did that for about 4 or 5 years, man. At some point, it got to be dangerous.
And by the way, the horse's name was Caitlyn Jenner.
So that was probably.
I ain't even touching that one.
Right. So yeah, that would be one of, if not the number one, that would be one or two. And
so what did your mom do after you tried to play it off?
She was ready to call the police.
She was ready to call the police.
Better get that half-naked ass woman out of that yard right quick.
Now.
And I immediately said, Doug Banks did that. She said, what's wrong with that boy? What's wrong with him? He must be crazy.
Oh, man.
Having somebody come up in there and do it like that. What's wrong with that boy?
Hey man, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that story. That is a classic.
Yeah, that was
That's
a good
a classic. Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah. So, man, well, I feel so underrated. All we did was sneak a few people in on you.
Yeah, I've had that done too.
Man, we got to try harder next year, guys.
Yeah, come up with something really big. Like the knobs on that thing you were talking about.
Look, Laura, it's not too late. You can make his day. Go ahead on, baby.
I am not flashing anyone. Thank you, but no thank you.
Take it easy. I'm getting old.
Next year we can go the opposite direction. Next year we can do midgets.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
I got a midget story, but
this is not the green room. Remember that. This is not the green room. Okay.
Little people. It's not
little
called
people.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I always thought the little girls were kind of sexy, especially kind of bow-legged.
Oh, you might want to reword that.
A girl.
Little adult women, not little girls. Right, yeah.
You are just totally.
I got to take a standing 8 count after that. Yowza.
I'll go to the corner. I'll mute myself.
Oh man! Oh god!
You take yourself off camera on your own,
right?
The video.
Yeah.
Now, Mike,
look, Mike. After they get to a certain age, Mike, you know what happens after they get to a certain age.
Oh yeah, it sets in, as they say.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. There's our excuse at the trial. It was early onset Alzheimer's.
Yeah. He didn't know what he was saying, Your Honor.
Oh man. As long as we don't see him on that To Catch a Predator, we're all right.
No, never see me on that.
That's it right there.
Never. Nope, not even.
Yeah, but that film crew might be visiting your house after that shit.
Hey, come on in. I'm clean as the Board of Health.
You can always tell when something going on in Lee's mind. That eyebrow. He snatched it down right quick. I was trying to get you out of the kitchen, but he snatched it down immediately. That eyebrow go up. It's over, Jay.
Oh man, that's funny. Yeah.
Real quick, let me step in real quick. Lee, Alina birthday wishes. Bonnie DeShawn wanted to come on, but she couldn't make it. She wished you happy birthday as well.
Oh wow!
Oh, my girl, Bonnie.
Yeah.
Hey, baby.
Yeah. Hey, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, baby.
Well, I feel like
special.
we need to give credit where credit is due. Chris Bass, the BoomShockalaka, was the one that came up with this. Damn all that other new shit. Yeah, we gonna go right up to 8:30. Then we just gonna bum rush his ass with a whole bunch of birthday shit. And I'm like, I'm in. What the hell? That sounds like some good time.
I didn't say it like that, but go ahead, motherfucker.
Hey man, I'm trying to give you credit. I'm trying to give you credit. You credit.
I can't trust none of you guys.
As only I can. Okay.
But
actually, guys, I should take the blame.
Yeah, you had something to do with it. But you know what? This was a complete surprise. I had no clue.
Okay, good.
I wasn't expecting anything.
You
absolutely.
After all the times Ron was fucking with you all week?
Well, but he does that shit anyway. That's a regular.
You know any difference?
No, hell no. Okay. He was bugging the hell out of me.
I see. Y'all don't realize
I need the link for my guest. Okay, it's 3 hours from now. Take it easy.
This was the thing. I came up with a topic. You should have knew it was something that was.
Yeah, you're right. I should have known.
I should have set you off, right?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, y'all.
You got the biggest hint ever. I said the topic, baby. What's up?
Yeah, I just thought you had bumped your head or something.
Oh man,
That's funny, Reggie.
I was doing the Jedi mind trick on him. I was like, "You will not understand what's going on."
You got me, man.
Oh man, but like
total surprise.
But the real credit goes to John Lewis, and I want to thank you, John, for setting the whole thing in motion. As I said before, it was John that reached out to me on Messenger about 2 weeks before your birthday, saying, you'll do something on the show special for Lee, and that spearheaded the whole thing. So John Lewis deserves credit. John, thank you so much, sir.
You instigating troublemaking fool.
Mask wear.
Mask wear, yeah. Thanks, John. I appreciate it. But you guys, it was total surprise. I had no clue. I figured we'd come in here, do a regular Thursday thing, and I get off the air and go get something to eat and chill. But no. Y'all got me.
If you'd have gave Laura your address, you could be eating cake.
I'm saying.
Eat the cake, anime.
Eat the cake. Cake good.
Yeah.
Steve, go on,
Get him out there and sing.
Eat the cake, anime.
That's funny.
Come on, please, eat the cake. Eat the cake.
Well, cake anime, please. Right?
Yeah.
Laura does come up with good ideas because she sent me some ice cream when I was in L.A.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah, that was real good. What was the name of that place?
Jenny's.
Jenny's, yeah.
Yeah.
It came in a box. I mean, it was a lot of ice cream. And Carol, she wanted to eat all of it. I had to say, Carol, don't touch my ice cream, okay? Well, you can't eat it all. I said, yeah, you're right. So I want this one and this one and this one. I said, okay, go ahead. You got it. But yeah, that was good stuff.
I'm sorry, I have to share this, Lee, since you brought her name up. So when Lee and I used to work together, when Lee brought me in to do the Power of Voices when Lee was out in LA, his co-host was a lady named Carol. And Carol was an interesting character. Once again, this is a lady that had no broadcasting experience. I guess her claim to fame was Michael Jackson's hairdresser, she said.
Oh, Carol.
Yeah.
He said, oh
my God.
Oh, there, Carol.
Woo!
Yeah, she's a character.
So we're doing the show, right? And so Lee's like, well, hi, Carol, how's it going? Well, I took a run today on the lakefront and by the beach and everything. And then I ran into this guy. He wanted to have sex with me. And I told him, don't touch me. And Lee was like, how the hell you have sex with nobody touching you? I'm just afraid that if he touches me, then I have to go get a shot and I feel all nervous. And I was like, oh my God. I mean, it was no offense, Lee. I love you, but goddamn it. That was some of the most goddamnest shit I ever heard anybody say in any type of broadcasting venue whatsoever. I don't know how you dealt with it. I was like, better you than me.
That was Carol.
It was hilarious.
I learned to shake my head and keep it rolling.
Yeah, you did.
That was all you can do. She was she's in a class by herself. No, but she's a good person. She just bumped her head a couple times.
Okay, there you go. That makes sense.
It's trauma.
Well, hanging around Michael Jackson could do that to you, right?
Yeah.
All right, no more
I think so.
No more Michael Jackson shit now. Leave that alone. You done got him cussing. Leave him alone, man.
Right?
That's 2 weeks in a row, Reggie. You didn't cuss before the green room.
I mean,
All right, guys, I tell you what, I'm going to pull the plug now. If you guys want to stay on the air, I'm starving. I haven't eaten anything since this
before we
morning.
go, I would just like to interject a final serious note. I'll echo the sentiments that I texted you earlier. I cannot express how wonderful it is to be part of this Street News Now team. It's amazing to me. I'm a new broadcaster, new to podcasting, and this is just an amazing opportunity. Not only to work with all you guys, but to learn from you. And Lee, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to be part of this.
Hear, hear.
Thank you.
Amen.
Yeah, we appreciate you and what you bring to the table, and that's why you're here. You're special and different. A little off, but but No, but seriously, welcome, and we all appreciate you. And I think we've assembled, 5 different personalities, and that's what makes it good.
Yeah.
It's not an 8-man corner, except for that guy right there.
If you count Ron, there's like 8 personalities.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yes.
Yeah,
and when I don't take my medicine, it can get worse.
Hey.
Unreal.
Yeah, for real. And I love poking fun at you, Lee, and I know I love you, man. Happy birthday.
Same here.
You know, man, I wish you have many, many more. It's an opportunity to be able to do some things that has never been done before. And we're on the threshold of doing it. We're not talking about it. We're not planning on doing it. We're doing it. So to be able to show some love, I know people are looking at us, actually showing love, and we will not have to get a shot in the morning because of it. So that's a beautiful thing.
Now my question is, what is this conversation going on right here?
He's still at work. Look at he didn't been spotted now.
Did he just get fired for sleeping on the job?
Did y'all kick me out or something? Wait a minute. I look down. I'm like, wait a minute. Where'd everybody go?
You're the whole show now.
Where'd they go?
Hey man, it's the close of the show, man. Now it's called closing remarks right now, Al.
Oh, okay. My bad. Okay.
No, I thought you were getting fired because it looked like you were having a serious conversation or something.
No, I'm having a serious conversation with this lovely young lady that I've been trying to have a conversation with for almost 2 years now.
All right. Hey, make sure you invite her to a vegan lunch.
A vegan lunch. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. A vegan lunch. What? Okay.
Ask Laura about it. She'll tell you all about it.
Okay. I'm gonna say my part. When I was
Professor.
When I was doing my time at the university on the East Coast, I wanted to explore Chicago radio history. Mm-hmm. So I found out. I say, "Oh, this dude, he had Radio 1." So I picked up the phone, and it was like, I didn't tell him, man, you didn't never hire me, I'm gonna kill you. I didn't tell him but I told him, I said, I want to talk to you about the history. He said, come on over. So an hour and 15-minute conversation turned to like 3.5 hours twice.
Wow.
And he spoke and he let me know. And then there was other insight that led me into other research, because I was working with Julian Davis and the university was doing some other type of research. And so I was able to go in there and talk to them and tell them from these experts that I knew. And I've always cherished that moment. Although it came later in life, but I cherished that moment because it's like you just unfolded like a book. You unfolded like a book, and just let me know everything that I needed to know. And I just wanted to say thank you for giving me your time.
See, my position has always been, if I know something, I want to share it with other people if it can help them in any way, because there were people that helped me on my way. And the only thing I can do is to pass those lessons, those experiences, the knowledge on. And hopefully, I look at life as a relay race. You pass the baton to someone else and they run and they pass it. So when I've had opportunities to speak, and I remember that meeting with people like that, and you were, a very inquisitive, and you're a radio guy. So that's all I need, an inquisitive radio guy, and we can talk all night. So that was an opportunity for me to share with you what I knew, and whatever questions you had of any uncertainties, I could help you and open your eyes so that you can carry that on. So mission accomplished. Thank you. Thank you for, calling. And that was a fun opportunity for me. I learned something out of it as well. I just learned something else that, it had a positive impact on you. So
absolutely.
I'm honored.
Oh, absolutely. Because that, when I was there, man, I was in the FCC, everything. I was like digging everything I could find. And then to understand the different changes in the ownerships led me to find out who Gordon McClendon was and who was a lot of the owners here in Chicago.
Right.
And then it led me back to Lucky Cordell when I started learning about polka dot radio. And things of, just the transition of what was going on.
Sure.
Different transitions in Chicago radio. And I was able to put together the different scenarios. Now that scene with you, Bob Wall, Bobby OJ, that was probably the last time that there were so many diverse owners in Chicago at
definitely.
that one time.
That was the last of an era.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because an owner is not going to compete against itself.
Right.
And so that time we saw competitive forces, and that was the last era or the vestige of great radio in Chicago. After that, it was not. When one single owner owns it, the radio is not great.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Yeah.
Not half as much fun, or the competitiveness is gone because you got 6, 7, 8 stations all owned by the same company, and you have to stay in your lane where they tell you they want you to be in terms of the format.
That's right.
So it's very different. And I understand it and I respect what they're doing, but I don't think they're doing a good job at it. But that's Mike Love's fault. He started all this shit.
They don't have to do a good job at it. They're greedy pigs.
Oh, thank you very much. See, I'm glad I'm not the only guy.
You just got to keep it real. See, if it was all about doing the right thing, they wouldn't make money.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So you actually give them a pat on the back for how they handle it because it's a competitive state of mind.
Totally.
That's what it is.
And that's it.
Until it becomes a monopoly, then
it's there. It's already a monopoly.
Then you get a heart and a small eye.
You get lowercase. Anytime you use lowercase in your name,
suspect.
You mean like the iPhone?
Why'd you have to bring that up? I'm sitting here. This thing finally transferred all my stuff from my Android over, but now I want to move it over to this telephone number. No, the other phone number, and I'm not sure how to do that.
He's confused again, y'all.
Welcome to another installment of Old Dudes and Technology.
So I'm smart enough to know that I should probably call T-Mobile at this point and say, yo, I just got this phone. No, I didn't buy it from you. I bought it directly from Apple.
Right.
But I want to kill this old phone and put this phone on that number. So
yeah. And when you got money, you can do that. That's easy.
Let me jump in and say the following about Lee, since we're all getting that acknowledgments towards him, and he needs to eat because his blood sugar will go down. So for me, coming into broadcasting and radio, you hear various names throughout the business industry, legendary names, and Lee Michaels always came up. And so you said, it was like, man, because I got into radio in the 90s. So I'm like, okay, man, he's not here in Chicago anymore. Always heard great things about the brother. I'll never work with him. So down the road, a very nice lady listened to all my stuff during my time doing talk radio, a lady named Barbara Jean. So Barbara Jean and I were going back and forth. She said
Cheese Biscuit.
Cheese Biscuit. Biscuit of Cheese. Cheese Biscuit. That's her nickname. Cheese Biscuit. And so I was like, I didn't know you knew Lee. I'll contact Lee and see what you can, meet up, virtually. So this is when you was, as she said, and I quote, you were living in Florida, being fat and happy. That was a direct quote.
Fat and happy.
So fat and happy. So we got a chance to meet virtually over that time, and we hit it off. And I once again, it's like, you're in the presence of greatness. I know you like to brag. It's like that. I'm just saying from my perspective, talking to you, and then we struck up a friendship. And then you went on to create USTalkNetwork.com, which I was a part of. That's how I met Alpha, because Alpha was a part of the team as well.
Right.
The late, great Andre Michael Eglishan was also on there as well, and we got a chance to know each other. And I'll tell you something real quick about Lee, and I'll go to the story. Hurry up. So Lee still had connections to Radio 1. So Lee was trying to get Andre and myself into Radio 1. So Lee got Andre into filling for Reverend Al Sharpton. So he was trying to get me to fill in for Warren Ballantyne. Warren Ballantyne was on there. So the Warren Ballantyne thing didn't mix. I come to find out the guy was jealous or whatever the hell, and that's to be expected sometimes when you're trying to make your own name. But the fact that Lee took time to help us to get into it, and Andre was always like my example of what could be with the Lee Michaels behind you, getting you there in the first place. And so between all that going on and the stuff we've done in between, and then we got connected when you came here at UBM, Urban Broadcast Media. And I never forget, because I saw you here with Trey the Chocolate Jock, because Trey was the operations manager, you was the COO. And you talked to the picture. I'm like, well, wait, I didn't know the motherfucker was here. Why didn't you tell me? So then I call up Lee, I call you up, I was like, dude, why didn't you tell me your ass was here? The fuck, man. So, he tells me that I'm here to work with, Doc Finney and everything else. And so I said, well, how can I get on board? So Lee said, I'll tell you what, give me about $40 and I'll get back with you on something. He comes back with, I got you in, you'll be on US Talk, you'll have your own show Monday through Friday. Again, that's what happens when the Lee Michaels is with you. And I told my students, I told everybody I come in contact with, never say never. I love you, Lee. Happy birthday to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chris. I mean, and I feel the same way. I know you're a real radio guy, and that's my thing. If you show me that you have the passion for what I love so much, then we're all in. We're going to be best friends. And I think that's so important, because there's so many people that have gotten an opportunity to be in this industry but didn't really love it. They did it because it was an opportunity, it was a stepping stone, et cetera, et cetera. But when you show me that passion, then it's rock and roll time. I'm all in. So, you're one of those guys. It's like Mike and John. I mean, John's a radio guy. I knew him as a board operator, an engineer. And that's how again, I'll give you your flowers while you're alive, John. If it wasn't for you, man, I wouldn't have lasted in St. Louis, because I was about ready to go to the St. Louis airport and take my hind parts back to Virginia. But you saved me. What was the street? You remember that apartment? What street was that on? Do you remember?
It was out there on Delmar and De Bolivar.
Yeah.
We were on the top floor.
Which is a different, and that's a completely different area now, right?
Yes.
I lived on De Bolivar years later. It's grown up.
That's where Magic Transmitter was, out there on De Bolivar.
That's right. Yeah. So thank you for being a real true friend to a guy that you didn't know from Adam, and you allowed me to come into your home, and you made me comfortable and helped me survive St. Louis.
Mm.
So
thank you for your friendship down. Thank you for all your friendship down through the years and everything. And,
absolutely.
And when you came to St. Louis, I mean, the top stations there at the time was KXLW, KWK, WESL, but you came in and you rocked KGZ and made it #1, which is true.
Yeah, we had fun. It was a fun experience. You never know.
I mean, all of these success stories, man. I mean, I know Lee, and I have this unpaid gig at Street News Now. What the fuck is going on?
I feel your pain, brother. I feel your pain.
Well, I want to thank everybody tonight. Because of all of you, I am launching a new show. I'm announcing it here now. It's called Nips and Knobs.
What?
Wait a minute.
Oh, what?
Nips and Knobs.
Nips and Knobs.
You've heard it first. Because of all of you and your story.
You're making this
It's a show about drinks and breasts.
Oh, yes.
No, breast and breast.
Oh, wait, we woke the professor up. Everybody quiet down.
As such, I've begun to strip down. So we thank you again for influencing the directions that I take and I make.
This show is for the children's.
For the kids, these little kids that listen right now, they all ears and please.
Man, I done cussed 3 times now. I gotta go in the milk, man.
Well, no, it's for kids because I'm sure once they saw Laura, they said, "Got milk."
Hi-oh.
Y'all on the road.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad that was not awkward at all.
Well, I'm sure I could feed an African country, so I'm all
Yes.
good. All good.
Yes.
Just call me Zimbabwe.
Yes. Yes. See what you did, Lee? It's your fault, Lee. You brought this cast of characters together.
Lord.
I apologize to the world.
Your radio children. Yes.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you for the love and the surprise. I'm completely blown away tonight, and this is what makes life worth living. When you get a bunch of people that are like-minded, that are kind and funny, and share the passion that I have for radio. So I'll never forget this. Thank you.
And the next time I come up with a topic, you know it's something.
I'm going to turn my mic off at that point. I'm out.
That's it.
What were you about to say, Mike?
I said I wasn't going to bring this up.
Good night, everybody.
You know, when you think about why God is blessing you and why you have these wonderful opportunities that you share with share with friends when you have good times.
Yeah.
Is because you've always done something for somebody. And none of these guys know me. And we talked about the good times and how I was influenced by you at an early age. But there was a time in my life where my mind was corrupt. And you were supposed to fire me. And you didn't do it. Instead of taking me off the air. You took me off the air, but you made me the production director, and I didn't even know how to do dubs. And we can laugh at it now. It's a true story. 2 times. 1215 Cole Street and the Bolivar. I was fucking up. And excuse my French gang.
All right.
And both times, he saved my life. We laughing now, but it wasn't good times. And I remember when we was on the Bolivar Street, and I was finally getting it together. And I was sitting in the studio, and I kept hearing somebody throwing rocks at the window because the radio station was on the 2nd floor.
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that? And you said, "Motherfucker, that's how you're supposed to do it."
You finally got it.
You finally got it. And he got in his car. He was driving a convertible, got in his car, and drove, scared it off, and left.
Now that's some good stuff. That's
Beautiful story. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing, brother. Thank you.
That's why your fucking ass is blessed.
There you go.
But you know what, Mike, and there's some deep things that you were going through in your life, and I've always believed that when you see someone that's having a hard time, going through some troubles in their lives, and it's personal stuff generally, you don't pour gasoline on them and light them. You help them through that tough time. That's when they need a friend. And and I was your boss, but I also saw that you were in a troubled period in your life, but I couldn't abandon you.
And you did.
So so you sometimes you have to be a little tough love, but give them some advice and direct them through their tough times. And I've been through the same situations that you were going through. So at that time I hadn't, but I could feel the pain and, everything that you were going through. And hell, I've done it for probably 10 other people.
You never let me down. Twice, y'all. He was supposed to fire me. And instead of coming to me saying, hey, man, I got to let you go, he said, Doug, I'm bringing in Doug Banks. We could talk about Doug now because he haven't watched it down. Doug was actually in jail for writing bad checks.
Wow. Yeah.
And so I had to stay on the air. How do you fire a motherfucker? Keep him on the air till his replacement comes in. You can't write this shit, Lee.
Yeah, I know.
And then he said, "You're going to be the station that never had a production director before."
That's right.
I was the first production director, and had never done dubs before.
You were
but he
quick
did that to keep from firing me.
Yeah, but I know you needed a job, and I wasn't going to put you out on the streets. And you were a young cat trying to get his wings.
But you constantly were there every time. You were there from the moment I was born to radio until I walked out on my own. You've always been there, man. I don't know who the fuck you are in my life, but you've always been there, dog.
Well, I'm blessed and I'm thankful that I was there to help you in any way that I could.
I don't know why you're throwing them damn rocks at the window.
I had to get your attention, man, because you had just done a nice break, and I wanted to commend you, motherfucker.
Thank you. I love you, man. Thanks.
But see, that moment you'll never forget.
I won't.
And it inspired you and made you a better jock. And the other things that you experienced while we were around each other helped you as a human being, it helped you going through some troubled times, because you were married to a crazy ass woman.
Oh my God. Okay. So guys, I'm getting ready to go on the air. I'm coming in with my headphones and he says, you can't go on the air. I said, what are you talking about? I can't go. And I was doing 6 to 10 at night. What do you mean I can't go on the air? He said, well, your wife they said she took an overdose or something and she's at the freaking hospital. So go down there and be with your wife. And she was down there playing with a damn Rubik's Cube going, la, 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 la. You think we joking? This was the real shit, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's the real deal.
It was real shit.
Yeah.
Every time I was getting ready to fall, this Negro right here, light-skinned it, kept saving my damn life. God bless you, Lee Michaels. I love you.
I love you more. I love you more. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
No, thank you. I'm proud of you.
Some good stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, because if you had turned out being a crackhead and a bust out, I wouldn't be so proud of you. But you
hold on, man.
Be careful what you say, bro.
Now, what you say, man? I couldn't hear you. I think your headphone or something went out. I didn't hear you.
See, only a quick-wit radio guy will pull some shit off like that. See?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's good shit,
God.
Man.
There you go.
Thank you, baby. I love you, dog.
No, man. Thank you. Thank you, John. Thank you, Al Greer, Laura, Professor.
Yes, sir.
Yoda. BoomShockalaka, Dr.Ron, and all the others. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. I love you. And we do this every Thursday, 6 p.m. West Coast time for you. This is your show. And I appreciate, the love that you guys have been giving us for a few months. We've been doing this show, and I hope that it continues and grow. And I'm looking for other shows to put on this network. So Don't be scared. You can reach me at iradiocoach@gmail.com. If you've got an idea for a show, hit me up. And I'm about to, I've semi-launched another venture. It's called prodriversnews.com. The site is just about complete. I'm looking for reporters to report. It's all geared towards transportation, limousines, rideshare, which includes Uber, Lyft, bus drivers, truck drivers, and eventually I'm going to have the rail transportation system in there as well. So it's another opportunity for journalists to write and broadcast. We'll do some podcasting, audio and video, as well as text reporting. So check that out. It's called prodriversnews.com. So check it out. I'm trying to create things that will open up doors for you. This ain't about me. It's about you. And, you know, if I'm blessed to go another 10 years in life or whatever, I will spend all of my days on this earth sharing and giving to what so many have shared and given to me. And I can't thank the ones that helped me, because most of them are gone and they wouldn't want me to do anything other than what I'm doing, and that's sharing the love. So that's what motivates and drives me. That's what I'm trying to do. And for all you guys that I never gave a job to, sorry. But maybe now.
No, you not. No, you not.
No,
sorry.
I am. I am. But it ain't over. It ain't over, Al.
Right, Coach. That's right. That's right.
It ain't over, baby.
That's right.
It ain't over. It ain't over, Professor.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
But more importantly, we have to create opportunities for us.
Amen.
And if we don't do that, then you'll be sitting around waiting for somebody else to give you something. Ownership is what it's all about.
Don't start now, Coach. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
That's another show, right, Pro?
That's it right there.
We're gonna have to do some special topic shows, and I'm developing another show, and I hope you guys like the concept. The show is going to be called Why, WHY, with a question mark. Think about it for a minute. Let that marinate. Till next Thursday, 6 p.m. West Coast time. We'll be right back here. 5 guys and you. And maybe we might let Laura back in, you know?
If she
For
bring
a female
nipples
perspective.
If she bringing nipples, yeah.
Oh, shut
They're
up.
right here. Always with me.
Thank you again, guys. Love you.
Love you too.
Peace. Love you too, sir.
Love you too, Uncle Lee.
Peace,
Love
everybody.
you, bro.
Bye-bye.